Okie dokie. Tonight is the night. Someone's reputation is going down the shitter. Plain and simple. Someone's reputation's going down the shitter. I think someone's career's ending tonight. I think if Anthony Yarde gets battered tonight by Lyndon, I think that's the end of Tunde Ajayi at the top level. That's not what I want to see. I'm hoping Anthony Yarde's going to get this done tonight. But Lyndon Arthur beats Anthony Yarde conclusively tonight. I don't think we see Tunde Ajayi as the head trainer in a top corner for a very, very long time. So this is like career versus career. Careers on the line. I don't know what you want to call it. Hell in a Cell, casket match, loser leaves town match, whatever you want to call it. Loser leaves town match. Tunde Ajayi might be leaving town if Anthony Yarde gets his head jabbed off tonight. We've already had one upset already. I haven't even watched it yet. I haven't even watched the card. I'm trying to get the card up in a minute. But Solikowski has done another prospect, hasn't he? He's done George Fox, a guy who I haven't really seen George Fox, but he was calling out Alan Babbage and was actually quite highly rated. Let me just sort this out. Yeah, so George Fox. Kamil Solikowski gets a decision. So we've already had one upset tonight, and people are already all over Twitter calling for the David Adele rematch. So it is what it is. Dory Rees smashed. Yeah, hit the like button. I mean, fuck's sake. Can't even hit the like button. Piss off. Mark Statton, Evening Ultra. Yes, Mark. What are we saying? Lewis Lee, Evening Gents. Joe Wall, shout out. Paul Shields, stand up. Look at the Paul Shields with the Grahams. That's why I call myself Paul, the light-skinned Graham Souness. I'm not even joking. I love Graham Souness to bits, you know. Graham Souness, man. Graham Souness. North versus South Korea, says BK. Listen, it's a loser leaves town match, isn't it? It's a loser leaves town match. Tunde Ajayi, Anthony Yarde's career is not on the line tonight. Anthony Yarde's career is not on the line tonight because Anthony Yarde can go to Adam Booth. Somebody sent me a message and said Liam Williams is gone to Adam Booth. Can somebody confirm that's a yay or a nay? Somebody came and told me that Liam Williams is now being coached by Adam Booth. So from Dominic Ingle to Adam Booth. Unbelievable. Ashar, hello Ultra, here's to a great evening. Well, I'm not sure about that. Your man Frank is at it again, isn't he? We've only been in on the chat 1 minute, and somebody saying, look, MG saying BT card gonna run late tonight. Well, thank fuck, we've got Devin Haney, Jojo Diaz, Filip Hrgovic, and who else is fighting tonight? I can't remember. Someone else. You got Javonta tomorrow night. Might have to do a live for that, depending on. Kim Jong-un. Nice to see that Kim Jong-un has made time away from enslaving the people of North Korea and shooting them in the head, mass execution style, to tune in and watch my channel. He says, Solikowski has finally won fair and square. Listen, Adele needs to take that rematch. Adele can win the fight. Adele can absolutely win the fight. In a weird way, David Adele's stock probably went up ever so slightly. And to be honest, everybody said that the Adele fight was a big robbery, but let me just say this, right? I think Adele hurt Solikowski with one of the last punches of the last round. I think it was a hook. But Adele threw something and he actually nearly dropped him in the last round of one of the last punches. So I covered that fight live for this channel. And I did say at the time, I said, I wonder if the judges will be swayed, because Solikowski was staggered in the last round by a shot by Adele. And I said, I wonder if that will just swing it for Adele. But it was what it was. It was what it was. Yes, big up Crazy D3. Harvey Chan says, I've got big dollar on a Yarde KO. Let me tell you something. I looked at some of the predictions for tonight, yeah? Which will get up on the screen for you now. Boxing Social compiled a list of predictions, right? They compiled a list of 50 boxers who were asked who's going to win tonight. Out of the 50 boxers that were asked who's going to win tonight, I think 40 of them went for Lyndon Arthur. 40 of them. So I don't know what's going on. Listen, let me tell you something. I don't even bet, yeah? But I might try and check the betting odds for you tonight. I don't bet. Normally all I do is try and find out who Billy Nelson's betting on. And then whoever Billy Nelson bets on, I'd tell you guys to bet the opposite. But I don't know if you guys know, Billy Nelson is now hiding his bets. Not only has Billy Nelson blocked me and Shevin from Twitter, but Billy Nelson is now hiding his bets so that my scouts can't go and find out how much money he's losing every fucking week. For those of you who don't remember, we had a segment called Betting with the King, where we used to track Billy Nelson's bets and work out how much fucking money he was losing on a weekly basis. But since then, he's shut down his betting operation. The vast majority are picking Lyndon Arthur tonight. If you look at some of these predictions, Hannah Rankin, Arthur points win. Peter Sims, he's going for Yarde. That's interesting. Wow. Peter Sims is going for Yarde. Late stoppage. Wow. Dex Spellman is going for Lyndon Arthur. Matt Marsh, Lyndon Arthur. Some of these people, I don't know who they are. A couple of writers and people that I don't really care about. But I try and get the Boxing Social article. It's just like 40 boxers are all going for Lyndon Arthur tonight. They're all going for Lyndon Arthur. Here we go. Get it up right now. Yarde versus Arthur 2, the picks. Dave Lane says Billy is banned from every bookies and chipping. I tell you what, Billy Nelson out here blocking me. But I tell you what, his name was brought up, yeah? Ahara Davis was talking about slave contracts. Ahara Davis was talking about some of the contracts that he'd been offered, during his time in boxing. And basically, he said that he'd been offered a contract by somebody, by a manager who was going to take 50% of his purse. And that when he read the small print, the contract said the contract never ends. 50% of his purse and the contract's rolling. It never ends when I read the small print. And somebody then brought up Billy Nelson and Lewis Ritson. So I don't know why Billy Nelson's blocking me because there's far worse Billy Nelson slander out there at the minute other than his bets. I mean, people are talking about all sorts of things going on there. So it is what it is. But yeah, let's just look through some of these picks. So I've just got Dennis McCann on in the background now. I've got a slightly different setup today. What do you guys think of the new branding? What do you guys think? If you look here, it's not really a big deal, but if you look here, hold on. Here we go, look. So we've got it in the top right-hand corner. Oh, I've just managed to mess it up, haven't I? Okay, fair enough. But anyway, we had it in the top right-hand corner. Oh, I know what I did. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, so we've got it in the top right-hand corner, the tail of the tape and all that malarkey. So people come in and they can see Arthur versus Yarde and all that, blah, 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 blah. Let's have a look. MG says, yeah, Lewis Ritson on IFL TV destroyed Billy Nelson. Can somebody send me the link to that Lewis Ritson versus Billy Nelson interview, please? I'd like to have a look at it for research purposes. Right, let's go through some of these picks for Yarde and Arthur tonight. It seems like it's going to be a fucking long night, doesn't it? Because old Frank's at it again. Heaven forbid anybody's bought a fucking ticket to the show tonight. Because, fuck me, you would... What will you be getting back from the venue tonight? Night bus? Night bus or what? Or cab back? Fuck me. I don't know why Queensbury can't just fucking start at 6:30 in the afternoon or something. Do you know what I mean? I need to speak to Frank about that when Frank phones me Monday morning to give his instructions. Right, let's quickly go through some of these picks quickly. Archie Sharp is going for Lyndon Arthur. Kahim Akargo is going for Lyndon Arthur. Jordan Gill's going for Lyndon Arthur. Callum Johnson's going for Anthony Yarde. Johnny Fisher is going for Lyndon Arthur. John Pegg, who's the coach of Sam Eggington, is going for Lyndon Arthur by stoppage. Apparently, Lyndon Arthur by stoppage is something like 13-1. Am I right on that? Let me know about that. I'm hearing that Lyndon Arthur by stoppage is something like 16-1 or something ridiculous. Like, Lyndon Arthur stoppage is a possibility. A lot of people are saying Anthony Yarde looked dead on the scales. To me, he always looks dead on the scales. He didn't look too bad to me, but they're saying that, listen, if this fight goes late, Anthony Yarde is going to get taken out. So it is what it is. Let's have a look here. Dave Lane is saying it's 7-1 for Lyndon Arthur by KO. I'm not a betting man. I don't bet. But listen, what do you guys think about 7-1 for Lyndon Arthur tonight by KO? Fuck me. It is what it is. Kim Jong-un says, you just hit 1K subs. I will make sure that people in North Korea will sub. Thank you very much, Kim. And good job, on the mass starvation and pillaging of North Korea. Congratulations on that. Kane Dingle Boxing says, Yarde needs to make it a car park scrap. 2 big lumps having a go in the center of the ring. He needs to stop that jab, doesn't he? That's the bottom line for Yarde. Can he get past the jab? You know, he's not really much of a head movement guy. I wonder if he's going to use a bit of lead hand control. I wonder if we see Anthony Yarde come out tonight and just pour out with that lead hand and try and just stop Lyndon Arthur's jab that way. So I wonder if we see that. If you watch Gervonta Davis tomorrow night, he always does the same thing to fighters. Gervonta. You ever notice when Gervonta fights them bigger, taller fighters? He just loses lead hand control. He walks in, he puts that lead hand out, and he uses that lead hand and he taps the jab. He taps the opponent's jab hand down, and he puts his hand on top of the opponent's jab hand. And he shuts the jab down. And he walks in behind and he lands his shots. Now, Anthony will do good to do something like that tonight to Lyndon Arthur. Doesn't have to use a lot of head movement and energy to shut the jab down. Use a bit of lead hand control. Try and place the jab hand on top of the jab. Walk in, bring your feet in behind the shots, and get stuck in. George C says, Yarde's low lead hand begs for Arthur to use the right hand. Yeah, correct. And Anthony Yarde, we know that's one of the things with the shoulder roll, isn't it? That's one of the things with the shoulder roll, isn't it? A lot of guys are doing the shoulder roll and they try to catch the right hand on the shoulder. They don't have their hand up, so their left hand is actually by their waist. But what they try and do is turn their shoulder into the right hand and block the right hand with their shoulder. But if you miss, it's a game fucking over. Jadon says Lyndon Arthur on points. Mark Stanton says Arthur late stoppage is where my money is. Odds for shite on point. I think Arthur late stoppage at 7-1. You know, I'd like to know what Billy Nelson's got going on, but I'm blocked. But it's a good bet. Let's have a look here. Anthony Kakachi's got Lyndon Arthur. Anthony Farnell, who I don't know if Anthony Farnell still listens to the show. Anthony Farnell was a long-time listener of this show. For those of you who used to watch boxing in the late 90s on Sky, you'll know about Anthony Farnell. And since then, he's trained some good domestic fighters. But Anthony Farnell is a long-time listener of this channel. Don't know if he still listens. He's got Lyndon. He thinks Lyndon's going to do it. He's hoping for Lyndon. Enzo Macronelli, who could have come on this show but declined. Big mistake in my opinion. Arthur on points. Let's have a look. Jazza Dickens, Arthur. I mean, look at this. Denzel Bentley. I think leaning towards Arthur. Look at this. All these these aren't journalists. These are boxers. Just go all the way down the list. Gary Lockett, Arthur. Unbelievable. Steve Goodwin is going with Anthony Yarde. Troy Williamson, who you saw on this show. Let me see if I can bring this up. So Troy Williamson, who you saw on this show last week, has gone with Lyndon Arthur by points. And I think Troy said that when he came on the show. Let's have a look here. Get this up very quickly. For those of you who missed it, Troy Williamson was on the show on Thursday. Made a bit of a hash of the interview, but if you want to go and see it, here it is. 1 second. That's myself interviewing the big man there. Troy Williamson, British and Commonwealth champion. Shout out, up the Trojan. If you want to see the interview, the link to the interview is in the description box. British and Commonwealth champion came in for a very, very quick chat about his recent fight with Ted Cheeseman. Let me tell you something. If Troy's watching tonight, which might be a possibility, if he's watching tonight, you know, I think we're going to do decent numbers tonight, and I might hit Troy up. If he's watching it, I might hit Troy up on the old Twitter and see if he wants to pop in and give us a couple of post-fight thoughts. But I'll see. Depends on how many people we get in here. But beware for that. I'm quite crafty like that. So we've got 61 people in here already. So the numbers are starting to fly up already. If we get 100 plus, 200 to 200 in here, I might have to give Troy Williamson a call and ask if he wants to come in post-fight and give his post-fight opinion. So Troy Williamson, as you see, he's gone for it. So the point is, in total, right? If you look at this list, here's the verdict, right? They did over 50 picks. This is unbelievable. 40 picked Arthur. Only 6 boxers picked Anthony Yarde tonight. 6. 40 picked Lyndon Arthur. 7 undecided. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable tonight. Right. Let's get going with your predictions. You get something nice up on the screen. We can also talk about quickly, because it's going to be a long night, yeah? And we can't just do Yarde and Arthur, because this card's going to go on till fucking Lord knows when. Frank Warren is negotiating step aside with Anthony Joshua. It's funny, isn't it? Because I thought that Frank Warren wasn't involved at all. I thought they were saying Frank Warren was the T guy. But apparently it's been confirmed. Frank Warren, I mean, I don't think Anthony Joshua will step aside anyway, right? But for those of you who care, Frank Warren is in talks with 258 management about how much money would it take to get Anthony Joshua to step aside so that Usyk can fight Fury. By the way, let me tell you right now, if Usyk fights, if Tyson Fury fights Usyk the same way he fought Wilder, he'll lose to Usyk, in my opinion. Believe it or not. I actually think, that if Tyson Fury fights the same way he fought against Deontay Wilder, he's that sloppy with the footwork, is that sloppy going in, and is that flat-footed, I think he could be in big trouble against Usyk. I think Usyk's got a genuine chance against Fury next, Genuine chance. But we'll talk about that another time. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think Anthony Joshua will step aside? Apparently, the rumors are going around that it's going to be 40 million. He's asking for 40 million to step aside. Listen, 40 million. Has Frank Warren got 40 million? I don't know. Freddie says 258 management doesn't take Frank Warren calls. Why would they not? Who's this Freddie Cunningham? Listen, Frank's his UK promoter and Tyson Fury's next fight is in the UK. It's going to be Dillian Whyte or Alexander Usyk, one of the two. Simple as that. That's who Tyson Fury's next fight will be. Dillian Whyte or Alexander Usyk. So the fight will happen in the UK. Frank Warren's booked Cardiff Stadium already. Frank Warren's already got Cardiff Stadium on hold. So it's going to be Whyte or Usyk. Simple as that. It's just as long as Whyte's sensible with the money and doesn't ask for fucking 55-45 or some bullshit like that. As long as he doesn't... Okay. Let's have a look. Right. Bump of K says, if AJ gets 40 million knocked to box, that's straight up G shit. What do you guys think? Should Anthony Joshua take 40 million knocked to box? Probably should, shouldn't he? You couldn't call him a ducker. 40 million knocked to box. 40 million to not get punched in the head. He's kind of got to take it, isn't he? He's got to take it, isn't he? 40 million knocked to box. Fuck me. Unbelievable. He's kind of got to take it, isn't he? Dylan Long says, Fury versus Wilder next. Just have a horrible feeling. It's going to be Usyk next or Whyte. Simple as that. Listen. Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury can be made in seconds. It's very simple. As long as everybody's sensible about the money and don't start asking for dumb shit like 55-45, the fight will happen. No one's scared of anybody. Fury's not scared of Whyte, and Whyte is not scared of Fury. The fight can happen. So it's very, very simple. Only two things need to happen, right? Whyte needs to put Eddie Hearn to one side because nobody's talking to Eddie Hearn, right? And that's the bottom line of it. I know people don't want to hear that, but you saw it in the States with the Canelo fight, right? Eddie Hearn is virtually blacklisted now in the States. You've seen it, right? With the Canelo fight. The man was barely even allowed in the arena. So he's blacklisted. Right? People don't want to do business with Eddie Hearn. So it's very simple. You saw Khan and Brook. Let me give you an example, right? Khan and Brook, right? When Eddie Hearn had the contract with Sky, he couldn't make Khan and Brook in 10 years. As soon as Eddie Hearn left Sky, Ben Shalom came in and made the fight in about fucking 6 weeks. How did that happen? Because Khan didn't want to deal with Eddie Hearn. Simple as that. That's the reason why the fight was held up. The reason the fight was held up for so long is because Khan didn't want to fight Brook, and Khan didn't want to do business with Eddie Hearn. Do you not think it's a coincidence that as soon as Eddie Hearn leaves Sky, all of a sudden that fight gets done? Of course. So if Dillian Whyte wants to fight, it's very simple. He's his own manager, yeah? Eddie Hearn doesn't need to be part of the discussions, and don't ask for silly money like 45%, and it'll be absolutely fine. That'll be it. The fight will happen, I think. If I had to put my money on the fight next, I think it'll be Fury and Whyte. I think AJ won't step aside, or the monetary offer will just be too big. So AJ won't step aside, or the monetary offer will just be too much. I think Usyk and AJ goes ahead, and Whyte will end up fighting Fury. MG says just try to copy the link. Lewis Ritson and Billy Nelson. Okay. I'll find it. Don't worry about that, MG. I will find it. That's fine. Boxing Social's good enough. I'll find it. Let's have a look. Daniel Campbell says, I think Whyte does a fight-by-fight deal with Hearn so he could just fuck him off and take a bigger share and live exactly. Simple as that. He has a fight-by-fight. There's nothing to stop Dillian to take a fight, go and do the fight with Fury, go and fight with Frank Warren, and then go back to fighting on the zone cards with Eddie Hearn. So the fight is very makeable. You've heard Bob Arum say it, right? You've heard Bob Arum say it. And you've heard Frank Warren both say the same thing, right? They're more than happy to do the Dillian Whyte fight. To be honest, if you want my honest opinion, I think that for Queensberry Promotions, they want the Dillian Whyte fight because you can do the Dillian Whyte fight in the UK and you can do you can do that fight in a stadium and you can do a massive gate on that fight. So to be honest, I think if you gave Frank Warren a choice, he would personally want to see the Dillian Whyte fight. It makes monetary sense in the UK to do that fight because that fight does a big gate. So nobody's ducking Dillian Whyte. I'm telling you for the 100th time, nobody's ducking Dillian Whyte. It's all about money. And if the percentages are correct and right, then the fight will get made. Gary Harrison says, good evening. Good evening. It's going to be a long night. Mark Stanton says, AJ is getting dragged into the ring against Usyk again. Let me just quickly say this. The danger of letting Tyson Fury fight Usyk next is that I know what will happen. If Tyson Fury beats Usyk, right, he will retire immediately after that. And AJ will be left up shit creek, basically. That's what will happen. As soon as Fury beats Usyk, Fury will announce his retirement in the ring, in my opinion. He'll announce his retirement. He'll say, that's it, I'm done. Thanks for everything, I'm finished boxing. And he'll call it a day. And that will just leave everybody up shit creek because even if the belts got split up and handed to somebody else, can you imagine someone becoming undisputed in that situation or someone becoming champion? Nobody would recognize them as a champion. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of thing Fury will do. And that's the reason why I don't think AJ is going to step aside because that's the kind of thing Fury will do. Am I right or am I wrong about that? What do you think? Yes or no? 1 or 2. Press 1 if you think I'm right and you think Tyson Fury, it's likely that if he beats Usyk, he'll announce his retirement shortly after. Whether he actually retires or not is a different thing. But press 1 if you think I'm right that if Fury beats Usyk, he'll retire in the. I'm telling you, he'll retire in the middle of the ring. Fury will retire in the middle of the ring, 100%. He'll say, "That's it, I'm done." And then what will happen then? What will AJ do then? Fight for his vacant belts? Nobody will recognize him as the champion. Nobody. So that if I'm in Anthony Joshua's camp, that's the reason why I probably wouldn't step aside unless the money was huge, you know? Unless the money was huge, because that's what Fury will do. He will retire in the middle of the ring. Phil says, have you seen True Geordie ripping into AJ in his vid today? I haven't, but let me tell you something. Shout out to the True Geordie. Got a lot of respect for him. You know, I tell you what, a couple of years ago, he retweeted one of my videos on Wilder versus Fury on Twitter. He actually watched it. He liked it. Do you know what? We all know True Geordie's a bit fruity, isn't he? He's got his kinks, doesn't he, True Geordie? Whether you agree with those or you don't agree with those. But I admire the man because they really did try to ruin his career. The text messages that True Geordie was sending, really, that would have been enough to finish off anybody. I wouldn't have come back from that. Listen, what True Geordie suffered with the outing of those messages, right, was like the right hand that Tyson Fury took from Deontay Wilder in round 4. That's what it was. You know that shot that Fury took from Wilder in round 4? And you can literally see like the shockwave go through his entire body, from his head to his fucking toes, yeah? That's what True Geordie went through. I don't know how he came back from that. Because I'll tell you what, most people wouldn't come back here from those kind of text messages. They would not come back from that. So I've got a lot of respect for True Geordie. A lot of respect. Let's have a look. Wizard Sleeve is here. I think this could actually be Wizard Sleeve. Believe it or not. If it is Wizard Sleeve, welcome, Wizard Sleeve. I can't click on profiles to make sure it's you, but I might even mod you up. Tell you what, Wizard Sleeve, if you can bring in Victor Barder, that'd be better. Listen, if Victor Barder wants to phone in, he can phone in. I won't criticize him. I just not want to hear some of his points of view. We've had Artman come on the show. Victor Barder's all more than welcome. Kim Jong-un says, did you hear Idris Vargo calling himself the best boxer in the UK? No, I did not. Was he putting on Hennessy Promotions? You know, listen, when was the last time anybody watched the Mick Hennessy show? We're talking fucking 1980 what? I don't know. I think I was still in diapers last time people watching Mick Hennessy shows. Right, let's go have a look here. Dean Chapman says, Ultra, if Fury fought the same way against Wilder as he did Wallin, he would have got beat. Of course, he fights different against Usyk. Fury plays up to his opponent. To me, and I'm a big, you guys know I like Tyson Fury, but he looks as hittable as ever. And his feet, he looks as flat-footed as ever, and he looks as hittable as ever. Usyk's got a genuine shot in that fight. In my opinion, I'd be happy to be wrong. Do you know what? I'm surprised nobody's picked up on this yet. Do you know I've picked against Tyson Fury in like pretty much all of his big fights? All of them. I picked Klitschko to knock him out. I picked Wilder to knock him out in the first fight. I picked Wilder to knock him out in the second fight. I picked Wilder to knock him out in the third. I've literally picked against Fury in every single big fight he's ever been in. There's never been a big fight that I've picked Fury in ever. Joe says, true Geordie was correct in his latest video too. Sometimes I disagree with his takes on boxing, but he was absolutely right about AJ being an overthinker. Well, look, listen, Anthony Joshua right now is in pieces. You've seen the interview with Kugan Cassius, right? Look, we've all seen the interview with Kugan Cassius, right? Hold on, let me get this interview up. Can't show you the footage, but you know the one I'm talking about. I mean, the minute the man started talking about Chicago gangsters, it's over. I mean, this interview here was so embarrassing. It's one of the most cringeworthy interviews I've ever seen. Hold up. I've got to make sure that I don't play this. I don't want to get done by IFL for copyright. But it was this one here. Hold on. Here we go. This one here. I'm done with fucking losing. Really, AJ? Anthony Joshua, I'm done with fucking losing. Yo, do you know how bad this dude looked in this interview? I couldn't believe it. Like, as a PR job out of 10, like this was bad. This was bad stuff, you know. I mean, just the guy looked like shit, you know. He's all over the place, Anthony Joshua, all over the place. Ghost says, hey, I remember watching Life of Grime on your channel. I think I might have remembered that too. Joe says, can't wait to see AJ featuring Chief Keef and Lawrence Okolie on Grime. Listen, see, you make jokes, yeah? But with the way Anthony Joshua's going, really, how long is it before we see him on Grime Daily? He ain't far off, is he? He ain't far off, is he? How long is it before we see Anthony Joshua on Grime Daily? Grime Daily. Anthony Joshua spitting bars. It probably will, you know. And, you know, we see Anthony Joshua out with a fucking balaclava up in Watford, shotting. Do you know what I mean? In a Channel U style video. Listen. I think we're one loss away from seeing Anthony Joshua end up on fucking Grime Daily. It is that bad. It is that bad. I mean, the guy just contradicts himself in every interview. I mean, what does he say? He turns around and says it's about respect. It's got nothing to do with money. And then 20 seconds later, he says, but if the money's enough, we'll step aside. The guy doesn't know what's going on. Let me tell you something about Anthony Joshua before we move on. He hasn't got a new trainer yet. And if he decides to move over and step aside, that might be the reason why. Because he doesn't have a trainer at the minute, does he? He's doing what's he doing? The man's doing a world tour, isn't he? Who does that? He does a world tour and photographs himself with about 15 trainers. Has he picked one yet? Or what? Has he picked a trainer or what? He's doing fucking 150. He's doing a worldwide tour, isn't he? Anthony Joshua's doing a whole road trip of the United States into every gym. Has he picked a trainer yet or what? Because he's supposed to step into the ring in about 3 months' time. Bizarre, isn't it? Bizarre. Maybe that's the reason. But let me say this on AJ. At the minute, he's very paranoid, isn't he? You see him in the interview and he knows all these trainers are looking to rob him of his money. All these trainers are going to be kissing up his ass because they want 10%. They all want that 10% fee, yeah, of what Anthony Joshua wants, don't they? They all want 10% of that Anthony Joshua payday. So they'll all be blowing smoke up his ass, trying to get him in, haven't they? So he doesn't know who to trust, does he? He doesn't know who to trust. So we'll see. That training situation's interesting, isn't it? I reckon there's all kinds of fucking turmoil going on in that team. Because Rob McCracken, if you think Rob McCracken's going to play second fiddle and only train AJ here and there, I don't know, man. Is he prepared to do that or is he not? Don't know. Rob McCracken strikes me as a guy who's got better fucking things to do than be a side piece for Anthony Joshua. Like I said before, Anthony Joshua looking for an open relationship, isn't he? Innit? Anthony Joshua basically went up to a trainer and said, look, I want an open relationship. I want to see other people. Well, most of them fail, don't they? Right, let's go through some of these comments. Dr. A. Ali says AJ's done. I think if he comes in the right mindset, he'll get a decision over Usyk. That's my opinion. You got to figure it out. He's at home. He's going to be at home. Matchroom judges, matchroom crowd, the lot. If he does better, he'll get the decision. All right. If he does better in the second fight, he'll get it. All he's got to do is do better in the second fight than he did in the first. If it's anywhere near close, he'll get the decision. So I'm going with AJ in a rematch. Butchie B says AJ always contradicts himself constantly. Dave Lane says in 10 years, AJ will be on I'm a Celeb eating kangaroo bollocks, trying to win some gold stars. I tell you, AJ's very good with his money. He's absolutely brilliant with his money, isn't he? So maybe not. Do you know what? To be fair to Anthony Joshua, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who needs to be in front of the cameras, you know. To be honest, if you're being honest, that's more Tyson Fury, innit? If you said who loves the cameras more, Fury or AJ, you'd say Fury, innit? Out of them two, innit? Fury's the one who's probably going to have difficulty staying out of the limelight, not Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua will be fine, I think. Tyson Fury's going to find it difficult to get out of the limelight. Boom says, a man's chilling in Dubai watching a Hara Davis fight. Shout out to Hara Davis. He had Anthony Joshua fucking handing him instructions. Listen, if you're a Hara Davis, that's got to mean something, isn't it? And you've got, probably, the second biggest draw in all of boxing turn up in Dubai to watch you fight and take the time to hand you advice in between rounds or during the fight. Listen, you guys know I love Hara Davis. Wizard Sleeve says AJ can pick who he wants as the face of boxing. Bloody hell. I bet you'd love it if AJ came all over your face, wouldn't you? You fucking love it, wouldn't you? What is it with these fans talking about the face of boxing? I see that shit quite a lot, on Twitter. On this fucking stupid app here, Twitter. You see a lot of nonsense on this stupid app. Yeah, fans arguing about who's the face of... Why does it matter? Why does it matter who's the face of boxing when you're fucking working in a co-op? It's crazy, isn't it? Like, dude's working in a co-op here, right? And then on the cigarette break, they're picking up the phone, innit? They're picking up the Ericsson during the cigarette break and tweeting bollocks. Yeah, Canelo's the face of boxing. AJ's the face of boxing. Oh, why do you give a shit who the face of boxing is? Do you know what I mean? Guys ain't... Why do you guys care then? Who the face? This is nonsense, like. And you guys were arguing about who makes more. My fighter makes more money than your fighter. What the fuck is going on, innit? Got dudes on furlough are arguing about who's on more money. Which multi-millionaire's getting more money? My fighter's getting more money than your money. My fighter's is the face of boxing. Man, this app's fucked. Let me tell you something. If you ever want to know why society is in the state it's in at the minute, yeah? Where people are literally fucking putting surgical masks on their pets before they go into the supermarket to go and do shopping, right? If you want to know why we're living in a society we're living in, where people are literally putting surgical masks on their pets, on their fucking pets, before they go in the supermarket, if you don't know why people like to hoard toilet roll, right? This app, reading 5 minutes of this app will give you a very, very good insight, yeah, into why some of these people think the way they think. Trust me, 5 minutes on this Twitter app and you'll realise, yeah, most of these people are absolutely fucking bonkers, mate. Bonkers. Let's have a look here. Oh my God, I haven't even looked. What's this? 98 in the chat, 18 likes. That's it's gone up to 48 to be fair. 100 in the chat, 48 likes. Listen, hit the like button. I'm not playing games, Hit the like button, man. Have I ever charged you a penny as well? Have I ever charged you a penny? Dudes all acting all bougie because I asked them to hit the like button. Have I ever charged you money? I might have to start putting YouTube. If people don't start hitting the like button, I'm going to start putting YouTube membership on this channel for jokes, innit? And I'll charge you. What do they charge in the other channels? What are the other channels charging? What are they charging you? Tell me, what's the going rate to hear people that know nothing about boxing talk about boxing? What's the going rate right now to hear somebody who's never put gloves on charge you money to hear their opinion? What is it? Shevin says it's only the cost of a coffee. What is it? Dudes are charging people $1.99, $2.99 a month. Fuck me. I'm not paying. Listen, I would never pay to hear from somebody who's never put on gloves. Period. Let's have a look. Shevin says nothing is more sad than fans obsessing over a connection between them and pro athletes. Here you go. Davis and Day says, mods, can we be handing out some bans? Who do you want to be banned? Wizard Sleeve? It's up to you guys. If you guys think Wizard Sleeve is good value, then he can stay. If you don't, then we can get rid of him. Wizard Sleeve, listen, the thing with you, Wizard Sleeve, is you need to come up with some different... Because see this Flappy Fury gimmick here? You've been running the same thing on other channels for years. If you come up with some new material, Wizard Sleeve, do me a favour, right? Do me a favour. I'm not going to ban you, Wizard Sleeve. But just do me a favour, stop typing, get a pen and paper, and just try and think of a different joke, if you can. Come up with something different for me in the next 2 minutes. If you can, I'll let you stay here. Everyone's saying, nah, he's all right. All right, there you go. Leave him in. They want the mongs back, don't they? Davies and Dave says some of the people are charging you £3. Fuck me. £3. Jesus. To hear what? TMT says, I think it's a fake account. The true wizard has disappeared since Joshua versus Usyk. Right. So let's get back to some other stuff. There's some other stuff. Quickly. This will absolutely boil the piss of Anthony Joshua. By the way, anybody just joined, 105 people here. Listen, right? Nobody wants to hear me do live commentary of Sam Noakes, yeah, fighting some prospect. We are covering Lyndon Arthur versus Anthony Yarde, as you can see in the top right-hand corner. Look at some of the new flashy graphics. Do you guys like some of the new flashy graphics and branding we've got here? Actually, I forgot to get the banner up. What an idiot. There we go. Sorry about that. Got the banner up now. You've got the new flashy graphics in the top left-hand corner. We are covering live commentary and live follow-along and live reaction Anthony Yarde versus Lyndon Arthur. 104 people in the chat so far. I tell you, I'd love to see it go up to 200. See if we can get Troy Williamson in here. And now I've got fucking a message. Guess who's messaged me as well? Big up, Sunny Singh. Guess who's messaged me? Lord Riku. Press 1 if you're a fan of the King, Lord Riku. Press 1 if you're a fan of Lord Riku. The King has messaged me. He says, Ultra, he wants to come on the show tomorrow morning. Press 1 if you want to hear from Riku tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. That's what he's saying. The king wants to come and the king wants his royal subjects to listen to another of his shows. The king is saying 10 a.m. tomorrow. So that's what it is. You know what the king wants, the king must get. What the king wants, the king must get. Riku the landlord, that's it. All right, look, Jesus Christ. All you guys are all pressing 1 for Riku. Jesus Christ. You guys are all pressing 1. All right, there you go. He's probably listening now, so there you go. So Riku will be here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Listen, let me tell you how we're running it tonight, yeah? Mark Stanton says, will the BT show be finished by 10 a.m.? I mean, listen, I love Frank Warren to bits, yeah? But let's get fucking real. Someone needs to speak to him about these fucking cards. How are people getting home tonight? How are people getting home tonight? ABB says Riku, a.k.a. Michael Watson. He looks exactly like Michael Watson. Right, let's move on. So, in the meantime, do you guys agree with this? Right? Tyson Fury has made it into the Ring Magazine top 10, pound for pound. Press, right, let's do this right. Press 7 if you disagree that Tyson Fury is in there. So if you don't think Tyson Fury should be in the Ring Magazine top 10, pound for pound, press 7. Davies and Days pressing 7. Wow, a lot of you disagree. You don't think Fury should be in the top 10, pound for pound. Okay, I'm cool with that. But he's in it. Tyson Fury is in the Ring Magazine top 10, pound for pound. In a move that will absolutely boil the fucking piss of AJ fanboys everywhere. Boil the piss, he will. One sec. Let me hit up Troy. Guys, if you give me 1 sec, yeah? All right. Mention other channels. It's a rapidy rap. That's a timeout, Wizard Sleeve, for mentioning other channels. 1 sec. One sec. I'm just messaging Troy, yeah? 1 sec. One sec. There we go. Just ping Troy. There we go. See if he comes on. There we go. Right. What was this? Sunny Singh says, I was banned from the channel after that appalling... No, you weren't. Right, let's go. All of you were saying he shouldn't be... Tyson Fury should not be in the pound for pound top 10. Okay, I'm fine with that. I know a lot of people think heavyweight shouldn't be in the top 10, but there it is. Tyson Fury's made it in the Ring Magazine top 10. I have to say, Ring Magazine, I'm not happy with some of their rankings. Do you know what I think's bad? Do you know what I think's worse than this, to be honest? Terence Crawford is rated as the number one welterweight. What does anybody think about that as well? Ring Magazine. I mean, Fury at number 10. You could. For those of you who love resume, you could say his resume isn't good enough to be top 10. But we can have that discussion, right? But I think what's even worse is how Terence Crawford is now the number one welterweight according to Ring. I think that's disgusting. Errol Spence is clearly the number one welterweight. Clearly, until Errol Spence is beaten, he's the number one. He's almost cleaned out the fucking division. Well, Boots and Virgil Ortiz and stuff, but you know what I mean? And then top guys, there's not many left, not really many left for Spence to fight. He fights Ugas, he becomes undisputed champion. How could that be a situation? Ring Magazine, right, is so bad, right? There could be a situation where Errol Spence could beat Yordenis Ugas and become the undisputed, undisputed because he's Terence Crawford the champion, but you get me. He could become the, three belt champion and still not be number one in the division. It's bizarre, isn't it? I don't know. Bizarre. Harvey Chan says Crawford beat Spence leftovers. Bungo K says Crawford is number one. No, I don't know how anybody can say Terence Crawford is the number one welterweight at all. How many losses has Sean? Come on. Sean Porter is a world level fighter, but he's been through some wars, isn't he, Sean Porter? Come on. Tell him Sean Porter has been through some fucking wars, man. Crazy D3 says Errol's lack of activity is hurting. Well, there you go. But some of that was, he nearly died, didn't he? Anyway, there you go. Fury number 10 in the Ring Magazine pound for pound. Unbelievable. I don't really care, but I thought it would bore the piss of some people. Daniel Campbell says Fury is the number one in his division. Definitely deserves a top 10 pound for pound ranking. I think, look, for me, I go by skill for skill. I say, look, who are the most skilled fighters in the world, right? Regardless of weight. And under that definition, for me, Tyson Fury would be in the top 10 pound for pound all day. But for me, on that basis, I'd also have Vasyl Lomachenko number one easily. That's me, but that's me. A Black says, not being a hater, but beating Wilder and Klitschko in the space of 6 years doesn't make you pound for pound. Not top 10. Okay, but you have to say, A Black, he fought Wilder 3 times, though. I know people don't, but doesn't that... I'm not saying he's definitely top 10, but he fought Wilder 3 times. How many times did Anthony Joshua fight Deontay Wilder? He hasn't even fought him once. Fucking busy fighting Joseph Parker. Do you remember that one? He busy fighting Joseph Parker for that WBO. Or fighting Carlos Takam and shit. All right. Right, let's quickly move back to this. Arthur versus Yarde, yeah? Jesus Christ. This card's going to be later than fucking unbelievable how late this card's going to be. Unreal. So at the minute, I'm watching it on the monitor, yeah? And we're into round 4 of Sam Noakes. Fuck. Unbelievable. And then I think after this, we've got Hamza Shiraz versus Bradley Skeet. And then we've got Arthur and Yarde. So at this point, Arthur and Yarde might not be out until what time? What time do you think Arthur and Yarde will actually get in the ring? This actually could be an 11:30 job, couldn't it? Arthur and Yarde. What do you think? Jesus Christ. Let's have a look. Right. Let's talk about tonight's main event very quickly, and then we'll go back to talking about boxing as a whole, right? Tunde Ajayi, right? Press 9, right? If you think Tunde Ajayi's career at the top level is over if Anthony Yarde gets beat conclusively tonight. Press 9. And by that, what I mean by that is Tunde Ajayi won't see a top level corner job for a very, very long time. That's what I think. If Anthony Yarde gets beaten conclusively or stopped tonight, press 9 if you think that's the end of Tunde Ajayi as a top trainer and a top coach. As in, obviously he'll coach prospects and things like that, but we won't see Tunde Ajayi on TV pretty much ever again. Because you know what, honestly, it looks like this guy is on the verge of being blacklisted, you know? That's what it looks like. I'm not saying that's what I want, but I'm saying it looks to me like that his reputation is so shot in the sport of boxing, right? That it now literally hinges on this fight. That's how I see it. Let me know. Give me a comment. I can see. Look, all of you are giving me. A lot of you are giving me 9s. NG's giving me a 9. TNT, Jawad 9. George, Callum, Daniel. You're all Marco. All giving me 9s. You're all saying this is it for Tunde, man. I honestly think this is it. Some people are saying this is it for Yarde. It's not. For me, Tunde's career in an hour and a half, we'll find out in an hour and a half if Tunde Ajayi is still going to be a top-line boxing trainer or not. That's my opinion. I don't see anywhere for him to go. Riku's on Twitter making jokes about how long this card's taking. I don't understand with Queensbury, you know. I'm gonna speak to my Queensbury contacts about this. Because this can't be good for viewership, right? No disrespect, but nobody right now is sitting up thinking, fuck, can't wait to watch Sam Noakes. And no one cares. Let's get this on. It should be Hamza Shiraz. It should be Hamza Shiraz and it should be Bradley Skeet now. Do you know what I mean? That's what it should be. And it should be at 10 o'clock, Yarde and Arthur. You know, Matchroom are a bit of a joke at the minute, but Matchroom, I tell you what, they just get these cards on time. And Anthony Joshua steps out at 10:30. So how can that be right then? Tell me that. Anthony Joshua's out to fight at 10 o'clock, 10:30. So how can that be right then? Anthony Joshua can come out at 10:30, but it's nearly 10:30 now, and I'm still watching Sam Noakes. Get these guys off my TV screen, man. Ashar says, I don't know, Ultra. Tunde is one of those guys who has no introspection. He'll hang on so far. Right. Do you know what? I'm going to start finding a way, to run some polls. Not now, but maybe on the if we do future shows, I might find a way to start doing in-game polls, right? Do you think that if Anthony Yarde gets beaten tonight, that Tunde will try and convince Yarde to keep him on? Maybe as a part-timer. By the way, we're doing better. 115 people, 70 likes. Please hit the like button if you can. Let's get these likes up, man. 115 people, 70 likes. Let's get these likes up if we can. Let's go through some of these. Marco says TMT Spencer Fearon. Well, literally, it really might come down to that. Maybe that's the next time we'll see Tunde in the corner for Spencer Fearon's next fight against you-know-who. It is what it is, isn't it? Stephen Jones says, we will be in another lockdown before the fight starts. That's very, very possible with the way things are going, aren't they? That's very, very possible with the way things are going. It's very, very possible. Let's have a look. Mark Stanton says, Yarde could be tangled to Tunde by some oddball contract. Look, Tunde's not a bad guy. I'm not going to start throwing accusations around that Tunde's fucking got Yarde in a dodgy contract. I'm not going to say I like Tunde. Honestly, I don't think anybody stuck up for Tunde more than I've stuck up for Tunde a lot. And he's welcome on this channel, you know. I stuck up for Tunde a lot. I don't think that the hatred he gets is warranted at all. At all. But his career's on the line tonight, 100%. TMT says, with the right friends, Tunde can waste 10 prospects and still find fighters. British trainer superpower. So he thinks Tunde will still be okay. CRB1, so Shevin says, well, if he loses, it's back to the roads of Disneyland. Will Tunde go back to the roads? Is that it? Is it back to the roads for Tunde? You can see as Lyndon Arthur is getting gloved up. And he's doing his pad work with Pat Barrett in the background there. Lyndon Arthur looks in tremendous shape. I mean, he's fucking huge, you know. What do you guys think? Like, Lyndon Arthur looks big for the weight, you know. Like, he looks big and tall. I know he's quite skinny, but he looks big. What do you guys think, right or wrong? Like, Lyndon Arthur looks big. He looks sizable for the weight, you know. Big. He's in there doing pad work. Hopefully we get to see Tunde doing some pad work backstage of Anthony Yarde as well. ABB says he's never left the roads. Smart Surf says Tunde obviously loves what he does. I'm calling Yarde to win tonight via... Let me tell you something. I would love to see Tunde get it done and Anthony Yarde get this done tonight. I would love to see Anthony Yarde and Tunde get it done tonight. It is what it is. Right, there we go. Right, let's go through. Mark Stanton says, in my opinion, Tunde works well as a manager promoter, but from what he's shown ringside, it's the trainer part that's questionable. Okay, very fair play. Shevin says Yarde lifts too many weights for my liking. ABB says Yarde looked gaunt on the scales. 132 in the chat. Please hit the like button. The numbers are going up. We're going to go back to covering just general boxing news in a minute. It's going to be a while before this fight starts. I would say probably about another hour or so before this fight starts. Although some people think that Ham Shiraz is going to finish off Bradley Skeet very quickly. So we may actually get something close to a 10:30 walkout. We don't know, but at the minute, it's a classic Queensbury card. At the minute, the timing is classic Queensbury Promotions. Get your sleeping bags ready. Get your sleeping bags ready. Ant Phillips says King Arthur will jab Yarde's head off again. As you can see here, Gervonta Davis shoves Isaac Cruz in their intense final face-off. Don't be surprised if you see George Kambosos and Gervonta Davis in the middle of the ring on Showtime after this fight if Gervonta wins. Because Kambosos will be in attendance. So don't be surprised if you see Kambosos and Gervonta after the fight in the middle of the ring spitting the business. Remember when Deontay Wilder wanted to come watch... Do you remember that? When Deontay Wilder wanted to come to the UK and get in the ring with Anthony Joshua after one of Anthony Joshua's fights. Can anybody remember that? And they wouldn't even let Wilder, they wouldn't even allow him to come and get in the ring. But apparently they were desperate. They were desperate for that fight to happen, but they weren't keen on letting Wilder in the ring with AJ. Do you remember that? When Wilder said, "I'll come to the UK and I'll get in there." Do you remember when Wilder came to Belfast to fight Fury, and Fury and Wilder got in the ring, and they cussed each other out on live TV. And then obviously before that, we had Billy Joe Saunders and throwing chicken at people in Nando's. Where's he gone? Billy Joe Saunders, have you seen what's happened to his career? Anybody still think Billy Joe Saunders signing for Matchroom was a great career move? And has he seen that gate money yet from the Canelo fight? Has he seen it? Does anybody know if Billy Joe Saunders has seen that gate money from the Canelo fight yet? Has Billy Joe Saunders seen that gate money from the Canelo fight? Told you. His career is over. You know what's going on? The last we heard of Billy Joe Saunders, you know what's happening? He's now getting called out in them traveller beef videos. You know them traveller beef videos? All them travellers fucking calling each other out. And all them travellers beefing. All those travellers beefing and calling each other out. Look, I'll show you. This is what's happened to Billy Joe Saunders. I told this dude. We all told him, Billy, listen. The grass ain't greener on the other side, right? Did Billy Joe listen? He didn't listen, did he? Look at him now. This is the state of Billy. This is Billy Joe Saunders at the minute. He's now getting involved in fucking traveller beef. Here you go, being called out here by this man here. That's the current state of Billy Joe Saunders' career at the minute. Career looks finished. Career looks absolutely dead and buried. Yeah, I hope that he's good with money. I hope that $5 million he got for Canelo lasts him. I really do hope that $5 million lasts him. Because it looks like his boxing career is absolutely dead and buried. And what a shame it was. One of the most talented fighters in the country. And look at how his career ended. Disgusting. His career ended with a possible career-ending injury and disappeared into thin air and never seen again. Has Billy Joe... Can I ask you guys a question quickly? Has Billy Joe Saunders ever even given an interview since his loss? I didn't even see him give a proper interview. Am I wrong about that or am I right? Did we ever see Billy Joe give an interview after a proper sit-down after the Canelo loss? I never saw anything. He went to hospital, he got his eye fixed, came out of surgery, and he's never been seen since. He did give one. I never saw it. I never saw it. Oh, okay. He did it. Oh, he did. Okay, I stand corrected. Okay, my bad. I take that back. Billy, if you're listening, I apologise. I take that back. He did a long interview with Coogan saying he wanted to retire. Okay, maybe I need to see that. Shocking. Career finished, didn't it? Apparently the grass was greener on the other side, wasn't it? Eh? Look what happened to him when he went over to. All I'll say is this before we move on. Billy Joe Saunders, when he went to Texas to fight Canelo Alvarez, he ended up fighting Canelo Alvarez. He ended up fighting Eddie Hearn, his own promoter. He ended up fighting just about everybody, didn't he? You know, as a fighter, when you go away from home, you know you need calmness around you in the camp, right? Because it's very stressful being away from home, being in a foreign country where you haven't really been before, you haven't really boxed before. You need calmness, don't you? You need calm heads around you. Look at the situation Billy Joe was in. Arguing with the promoter, arguing with this and that. Disgusting. The whole situation was disgusting. MG said he wants to fight on. I did hear that. He said he wants to fight on Sky. You see, Fraser Clark has signed with Sky as well. We get this up for anybody who quickly cares. Fraser Clark has signed with Sky. What? I told people this would happen. Why would anybody want to fight with DAZN? If you're just quickly tell you this, yeah. If you're a prospect, why the fuck would you want to fight with DAZN at this moment in time? Why would you do that? It makes no commercial sense to fight with DAZN on a platform that nobody watches. Am I right or am I wrong? Matchroom had first dibs on these Olympic boxers. And they still went to Sky. So it was what it was, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, I can see he did give interviews, okay. Davies and Dave said he ended up fighting 40,000 Mexicans he didn't get paid for, apparently. Well, where's the gate money? That's what I want to see Billy Joe Saunders get asked in his next interview. Did you get any of the gate money from that fight, yes or no? Because some people would have you believe that he never got any gate money. That's what some people believe. Some people believe, it could be right, it could be wrong. Some people believe that 40,000 people turned up to the arena and he saw none of it. What a way to go out. What a way to go out. So Fraser Clark signs with Boxer and Sky Sports. Why on earth would you sign with DAZN? That's why they have to get BT Sport. They have to. Because right now, if they can't get BT Sport, there's literally no point in them being around. Mark Stanton says, give it till summer. It will be BJS versus Eubank Jr., but DAZN or Hearn won't be involved. That's an interesting point. I'm just going to go and get some... Anthony Yarde's is backstage. He's not gloved up. He doesn't look warm at all. Well, that tells you... Oh, he is. He's wrapped up, but he looks cold. So that tells you that these guys... Well, mind you, this could be a pre-recorded, yeah? But Anthony Yarde looks cold backstage, so he's going to have to warm up. It could be a while, isn't it? Look, 10 o'clock, and we're still watching Sam Noakes. Unbelievable. Mickey Dub says, Buatsi versus Arthur, who wins? I have no idea, but you guys are willing to... Listen, Lyndon Arthur, if he loses tonight, right? Right, while I go and get my ice cream, let me quickly ask you this, right? 2 questions. Let's get some chat going, and then I'll be back in a sec, right? Here are my 2 questions for you. If you were Fraser Clark, or if you were an amateur boxer, right? Who would you pick, right? Give me... If you was a top amateur boxer, right? Especially someone like Fraser Clark, who's quite old and quite late in his career, so you need the exposure fast, yeah? Who would you sign? In what order would you sign for these? BT, Sky, or DAZN? In what order would you sign? And also, here's another question. If Lyndon Arthur loses tonight, anybody who asks for free streaming sites will get banned. Anybody. So that's what that is. Lyndon Arthur, yeah? If he loses tonight, would he stay with Frank Warren? I can't see any way Lyndon Arthur will stay with Queensberry Promotions if he loses tonight. Can you? I can't see any way Lyndon Arthur will still be a Queensberry fighter if he loses tonight. It looks so awkward, doesn't it? I would imagine he's going to end up on Sky, possibly DAZN. But I don't think Lyndon Arthur is going to be with Frank for much longer. It looks very, very awkward up there. I think most people think that Frank wants Yarde to win. And so it is what it is. What do you guys think about that? I'll be back in just 3 seconds, okay? I'm just going to quickly mute. And by the way, before I go, let me tell you something. Listen, the phone lines are open. So if a Shevin wants to come on, if a Troy Williamson wants to come on post-fight, maybe we can even get Ingram. I might even email Ingram post-fight. Or maybe somebody in the chat can reach out to Ingram. Abdul can come on post-fight. Daryl can come on post-fight. Sonny Singh can come on post-fight. Listen, it's open season tonight. The chat lines are open. If we know you and you want to come on and have a chat, chat lines are open. Ask for the link and you will get the link. If we know you, yeah? If we know you. I'll be back in just 30 seconds. Sorry about that. Listen, I know the silence is uncomfortable, but sometimes, man, you know, I'm drinking a lot of water in it at the minute. I'm following Troy's advice, innit? The quickest way to lose water is to drink water, and it's actually working. So I'm drinking a lot of water. So I will be pissing my guts out tonight. If you want to know what I'm eating as we're waiting for some of these big fights to happen tonight, I am currently eating these. Mrs. bought me these. It's Waitrose Essentials. Hold on. And it's Waitrose Essentials cream and chocolate buns. There we go. So that's what we're eating tonight. If you want to know what I've got on my desk, it's right here. It's right here. Waitrose Essential cream and chocolate show buns. Look at these, £1.40. So we're not breaking the bank, are we? We're not breaking the bank, are we? I think Waitrose is expensive. It's Waitrose Essentials. It is what it is, isn't it? So that's what we're currently eating. Right, let's get on to some more of your comments while we wait for some of these fights. Let's have a look. Ant Phillips says Lyndon is the man at light heavy. Well, in the country, you think Lyndon's the best light heavy in the country? Do you think he beats Callum Johnson? Shevin says that looks good. Are you hitting the exercise bike after you eat that? Am I fuck? Of course not, Chev. You know what I'm like. You know what I'm about. Crazy T3 says, bro, how are you talking about losing weight and then you're eating chocolate cream buns? Because I am Mr. Contradiction. Yeah? I'm full of shit. I contradict myself more times than Tyson Fury. Although this chocolate show bun ain't looking too hot at a minute. I'll have a bite. I don't have to have all of it. I'll have a bite and let you know. Hold on. There's nothing in it. Just fucking hollow. A little bit of cream. See, this is Waitrose Essentials, man. Oh. Yeah. It's a solid 3 out of 10. There you go. 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. Waitrose Essentials. Oh. Fucking gross. Solid 3 out of 10. Jawad says he would sign with Sky first, BT second, and then DAZN. I'll probably agree with that. Sky Boxer is the place to be. I don't know about that. You know, Ben Shalom, fuck me. Let's put it this way. They had a quote-unquote long-term contract with David Avanesian. And remember what happened there. It is what it is. Lamb Chop says, I'm on the mince and yeah, let me tell you what. Let me go and get the mince pie. I'll have a mince pie. This chocolate show bun's disgusting. I've had one bite of it. It's crap. I'm definitely going to get, I've got M&S mince pies. So I'll definitely grab one of those. DMT says, ultra the contradiction frotch. Absolutely. Kim Jong-un says, Johnny Fisher, best boxer prospect in the UK. Let me tell you something about Johnny Fisher. He's definitely got one of the most annoying dads in the UK. I'm sick of seeing the fucking sight of this guy. What do you guys think about this dude here? Johnny Fisher's dad. Big Johnny Fisher. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck about this guy. I don't want to see this guy on my TV screen. The other day I saw some boxing social thing, yeah? And his fucking dad was talking about what he orders from the fucking Chinese. Who gives a shit? Seriously. Like, Johnny Fisher's dad was talking about what he orders down Chinese takeaway. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of sick of these fucking trainer dads trying to steal the limelight. Like, you You know what I mean? Like, you're not fighting. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So why do we need to hear from you? Like, Johnny Fisher, fair enough, he's getting in the ring, yeah, and he's fighting, but it's these fucking dads that keep tagging along and making themselves celebrities. I don't know, man. Probably does my head in, innit? Too many dads in the sport of boxing. Like, who the fuck wants to hear his dad talking about what he orders from the Chinese? Let me see if I can get that. I'm not even joking. His dad was talking about what he orders from Chinese. I can't remember what it was. Look, there we go, look. Oh, there you go. On IFL TV, talking about Kung Pao prawns. And then here, look, prawn cracker challenge. What the fuck? What the fuck? What have these guys done to warrant getting the fucking airtime that they're getting on IFL TV? Because you know what it is? I'm sure he's a really lovely guy. But you understand, yeah, that there are some prospects out there that just aren't getting any attention right now in the media. But Johnny Fisher's dad's got fucking 3, 4, 5 videos of IFL TV. Do you know what I'm saying? When was the last time we saw Dennis McCann on IFL TV? Dennis McCann's one of the best prospects in the fucking country. When was the last time we see Dennis McCann on the fucking TV, on IFL TV? Yeah, and he's a fucking boxer. Meanwhile, we got fucking 5 videos here of Johnny Fisher doing a fucking fucking prawn cracker challenge. Do you know what I mean? Give me a fucking break with this shit. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm out of order for saying that? It's like, these fucking trainer dads are out of control, isn't it? These trainer dads, innit? Out of control. How many more dads of trainers do we need to see in the limelight now? Who have we got? Kenny Porter, Teofimo Lopez Sr., Angel Garcia. Big John Fury's probably the worst one, right? Big John Fury, he's the worst one. And then you've got Johnny Fisher. Why do you want to hear from these guys or see from these guys? To be fair to Big John Fury fought for a British title and was actually a boxer. So that's what it is, isn't it? Am I right or am I wrong? Ash R says, has there ever been a successful mother trainer son boxer combo? Yes, Dennis Douglin. Dennis Douglin's mum trained him. And his mum's not even bad looking. Give me a sec. Let me just grab the mince pies. I'm going to leave the mic unmuted, all right? Let me just grab the mince pies. This fucking show bun was disgusting. One sec. All right. We're back at Waitrose again. Wildlife says, has the fight started? Yes, it's all over, mate. It's all over. Lyndon Arthur's knocked out Anthony Yarde in the first round. It's all over. Let's have a look. Freddie's taking the piss out of the zone again. Let's have a look. Yeah, look, no, Antonio Lomachenko, I've actually got time for him because he stays away from the fucking cameras. His reputation is built on good training, isn't it? Antonio Lomachenko, his reputation is built on results. Yeah? His reputation isn't built on prawn cracker challenges on IFL TV. And IFL TV is supposed to be a fucking serious boxing channel, by the way. Look at this, look. Look at this, look. This is what you call journalism in the UK. I keep telling you, right, how embarrassing the UK boxing journalism is. Can you understand that? There's not one journalist in the UK who can tell me where Dillian White's B sample is. But they can show me Big John Fisher doing a fucking prawn cracker challenge with his son. Hey? There's not one journalist out there that can tell me where Dillian White's B sample is, but they can tell me about a prawn cracker challenge between fucking Johnny Fisher and his son. Yeah? Anybody want to talk about the state of journalism in this country? It's rock bottom. Yeah? Sorry, you hear me opening up these mince pies. This is rock bottom. Rock effing bottom. Rock bottom. That's the state of journalism in the UK. As bad as it's ever been. It's in the gutter. Absolutely in the gutter. What have we got here? So, give me a sec. Do you know what, honestly? I haven't eaten that much, you know. I haven't eaten that much at all. Right, let me show you what I'm quickly munching down on. We've got Waitrose 9 mini mince pie selection. I'll quickly show you this. Might have to speak to the missus about some of these orders that are coming into the fucking house. Mind you, she got me something nice today. I'll show you in a minute. Right, where is this? This is what we're eating now. All right? So this is what we're eating now. Waitrose Christmas all butter mini mince pie selection. This is what we're eating now at Waitrose, all right? So there you go. 142 in the room. That's what we're eating right now from Waitrose, all right? I'm having one mini mince pie. So big fuck you to everybody asking if I'm going to get on the exercise bike afterwards. It's none of your business. I don't need to go on the exercise bike for a fucking mini mince pie, do I? I mean, look at the size of these things. Do you know what I mean? Look at the size of these things. Let's have a look at the calories. Look, bloody hell, look. 120 calories per pie. Fuck me. Dr. Steele says they look banging them. Well, I don't know. They are Waitrose after all, but they're quite cheap. Let's have a look. They're quite nice if you warm them up with a bit of cream. TMT says you're going to catch diabetes before Yarde enters the ring. Well, when's Yarde entering the ring then, TMT? Tell me, when is it? Because I'm not being funny. It's almost sunrise and he's still in the ring. So when is he getting in the ring? When is he getting in the ring? It's almost fucking sunrise, isn't it? I can't see him. Funny that, isn't it? I see him backstage. He looks cold. Ain't even fucking warmed up yet. Crazy D3 says Christmas food is overrated. I would agree with that. There we go. Do you know what? This is shit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like there's no filling in this crap. There's no filling. It's just pure pastry. I mean, it's Christmas time. Isn't Christmas time the year of like generosity, innit? Isn't Christmas time all about giving and generosity? And they give you a fucking mince pie which has got 90% pastry. Where's the filling? Let me turn the light on. Hold on. I'm actually turning the light on to see if I can see the actual filling inside this thing. There's no filling. The fuck is this? A load of shite. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. That's terrible, you know. I'm going to have to discuss that with Riku on tomorrow morning show. The state of mince pies in this country. What do you guys think's worse? The state of the NHS or the state of the Christmas food in this country? Bloody hell. Both are going right down the gutter. Super Epic Douche says you should try an Aldi mince pie. No, thank you. No, thank you. We don't do Aldi in this household. Freddie says, why are you always so negative, Ultra? Because I keep blocking people. That's the thing. I keep blocking people, Freddie. I keep hitting that block button. That's why I'm so negative. Enjoy. Let's have a look. Try a Netto mince pie. What are you trying to kill me? Netto. Fuck Netto. You trying to kill me or something? Netto mince pie. Fucking hell. Come on, man. What's going on? Sharon says gingerbread cookies are fire. Yeah, but that's because you live in the fucking East Coast, man. We ain't got no food and no eat. This brother keeps bringing up East Coast food like we got it in the UK and shit. All right, let's go back to boxing. Teofimo Lopez nearly died in the ring against George Kambosos. Teofimo Lopez was unknowingly suffering from something that I'm just not going to be able to pronounce. Can anybody pronounce that? Pneumodiastinum? Is that right? Pneumodiastinum. Is that right? I can't even pronounce it. Teofimo Lopez had breathing problems in the ring. And according to Dr. Lyndon, he could have died in the middle of the ring. Shevin there saying the P is silent. Big fuck you to Shevin out there. Thanks for that. The P is silent. Jesus Christ. I run this gimmick that I'm really intelligent, don't I? You know, I run this gimmick that I'm a really intelligent guy who's some kind of computer whiz. And I'm probably the only person in the UK who pronounces pneumonia with a fucking P. That is shocking, isn't it? That is shocking. I deserve a thumbs down for that alone, don't I? I deserve a thumbs down for that alone, don't I? Pronouncing pneumonia with a fucking P. You hear something new every day, don't you? Anyway, Teofimo Lopez nearly died in the ring, which against against Cambozos. If he was hit in the neck or chest in a certain place, he could have developed a collapsed lung. He would have instantly been down, unable to breathe and needing a test tube. What do you guys think about that? I've got to be careful what I say here. I believe it, of course, but what do you think about that? Let me see if I can show you his Twitter page. I mean, it's very dramatic. Let me see if I can show you his Twitter page, Teofimo. Very dramatic picture. I mean, like I said before, I hope he's okay. It's no joke, is it? So, I don't want to take the piss or anything, but very, very dramatic picture on his Twitter page of him wearing an oxygen mask. Let's see if we can get this up here. There you go. This is Teofimo. Let me just zoom out. I've still got this nasty half-eaten mince pie in my hand. Teofimo says, only athletes understand the amount of pressure we deal with on a daily basis. My health isn't an excuse, but a fact. I almost died for people who could care less about us, but only money. And that's a picture of Teofimo with his oxygen mask on. I don't know. It is what it is. Hello, Toby. Hope you're very well. Shevin saying he doesn't buy it. I don't think I buy it. I don't think anybody would make that up. So I 100% believe him. But he's not doing. It's hard to say, isn't it? He's just not done himself any favors, has he? He's become a bit of a laughing stock, hasn't he? I think he's a very talented fighter, but he's become a bit of a laughing stock, hasn't he, in the sport of boxing in the last. It's funny how things change in a week, wasn't he? A week ago, the casuals were telling you that he was going to be the fucking, the pound for pound winner. He was going to go and clean up divisions. And now, those same people who were riding his ass are now laughing at him. Trust me. It's a cold world, isn't it? Cold world. Oh, yeah. Smart Surf says Shiraz and Skeet about to start. Could be worth a watch. Yeah, I'll watch it in the background. I'm not going to do any live commentary for fucking Skeet and Shiraz. Come on. What the fuck? Come on, man. Come on, man. You know this is supposed to be a fucking premium channel, right? This is supposed to be a fucking premium channel, right? That's why I've got Waitrose mince pies on the table. So yeah, Hamza Shiraz and Bradley Skeet, that's in the background. We're not doing live commentary on that. Hold on. This fucking tablet's fucking. I might have to switch screens. TMT says Lopez has lost the plot since a year. He needs to save his career. He's heading into the wall. It's a really, really bad situation, isn't it? It's a really, really bad situation. To be honest, I almost would have sort of not mentioned it, to be honest. But it was what it was. It was what it was. A few of you aren't buying it. Mark Stanton says, what is it lately with fighters' reasons for losses getting more elaborate? Must be a social media sympathy thing. Do you agree with Mark Stanton that recently the reasons that fighters are giving for why they lost is becoming more elaborate? What have we had in the last year? We've had my suit was too heavy. I was drugged. There was a conspiracy against me by my coaching team. Dodgy raps. I wouldn't call this an excuse, but we've had somebody claim that they could have died in a ring due to breathing problems that weren't picked up. What are some of the other excuses that we've heard this year in boxing? Can anybody remember some of the post-fight excuses that we've heard? Oh, shout out to Artman, by the way, Artman. Big shout out to Artman. I'm a big fan of yours, Artman. When you come across that toxicology report that proves that Deontay Wilder was doped or drugged by his team before Tyson Fury fight, please send me that. I'm still waiting for that toxicology report, man. So big shout out to you. Love what you're doing. Love some of the boxing training that you're doing. And give me a shout when you get that toxicology report, the one that proves that Wilder was drugged before the Fury 2 fight. Please send that over. Yeah, Shannon Courtney, MS22. Shannon Courtney blamed their period, didn't she? And who did she get called out by? Who did she get called? She got called out by somebody quite prominent, didn't they? I think it was Michaela Meyer said that Shannon Courtney was absolute full of shit, didn't she? Because Michaela Meyer said basically Michaela Meyer said that Shannon Courtney knew that she was that she was tight at the weight, but still found the time to put all her makeup on before the weigh-in. And she said she found that very, very strange. If you know you're going to be tight at the weight, you should be doing everything you can to try and make the weight, going for runs, stick yourself in, do whatever. Do you know what I mean? Very, very dodgy, isn't it? But yeah, there was something about Shannon Courtney blamed her period. And didn't she blame a torn ACL as well? Didn't Shannon Courtney blame a torn ACL? Am I wrong about that? Didn't she say she had a torn ACL? Shame we can't get on Shannon Courtney's Instagram. She's got some very, very interesting pictures on her Instagram. Riku knows what Riku spends all day on Shannon Courtney's Instagram. Riku spends all day on Shannon Courtney's Instagram. She's got some very, very interesting pictures on there. If you know what I mean. She's got some very, very interesting pictures on her Instagram. Let's have a look. Always have to have a look at these Shannon Courtney pictures. Very, very interesting. Maybe me and Riku will go through some of them tomorrow. You trying to say Riku's a simp ultra? No, Riku's my brother. Why would I say that? Riku's my brother. Riku's my light-skinned brother. You know how we go. Light skin stick together, no matter what, man. Light skin always stick with light skin, no matter what. Let's have a look at this. Where are these Shannon Courtney Instagram pics? This one ain't too bad. Here we go. Oh, she's got some interesting pics. She looks very different here, doesn't she, to how she looks in some of her fights. Very, very different. Here's what it is. Let's have a look here. Yeah, Mark Stanton says Courtney's leg brace. Yeah, she said she had a fucking torn ACL. So let's have a look at the excuses. Sorry, what we got excuses-wise? Shannon Courtney tore ACL. Shannon Courtney had a period when she was supposed to make weight. We know all about Deontay Wilder's excuses. Teofimo said that he nearly died in the ring due to a breathing problem. I don't think that's an excuse, but Teofimo's saying he nearly died in the ring due to a breathing problem. Well, what else is there? There's definitely some other crazy post-fight things we've heard, haven't we? There's definitely more. I'm surprised you guys don't know them. There's definitely more stuff that's been out there. What about Anthony Joshua? What excuses did he make after he's lost to Usyk? He didn't make any in the beginning, but towards some of these IFL TV interviews, he started saying some stuff, didn't he? No? Yeah, TMT said Joshua throwing his 14 coaches under the bus. That man has got a whole team of coaches, man. Isn't he? AJ. How many coaches has he got? Shout out to 258 Management. I'm trying to get myself a 258 Management t-shirt. Shout out to 258 Management. Hey, yo. If anybody here is in 258 Management, press 1. If anybody here is in 258 Management, press 1. There's loads of people in 258 Management. I've never met anybody who is not in 258 Management. There you go. When are they releasing the t-shirts? 258 Management. Oh, there you go. Simon's in 258. Everybody's in 258 Management. You look at Anthony Joshua backstage. He's got all these people buzzing around him with these fucking t-shirts on, isn't he? Who are these people? They're all wearing these fucking t-shirts. Let me see if I can get a picture of them backstage. It's hilarious, isn't it? We've got all these guys hanging around him. All these henchmen. He calls them henchmen, doesn't he? All these fucking henchmen. And nobody knows who the fuck these people are. But they're all on the payroll, aren't they? Look. This is AJ in New York, isn't it? Look. Who are all these people, man? Can you see? You can see Rob McCracken in the background, yeah? There's Adam Smith in the background as well. So this must have been before the Ruiz fight, because this looks like New York, yeah? I know some of these are his close people, but I'm just trying to figure out, innit? Trying to get a picture of him in 258, innit? It is what it is. TMT says, who has the worst team? All right, let's answer this before we'll talk about tonight's fights, right? Who has the worst team? Wilder or Joshua? Right. Press 1 for Wilder or press 2 for AJ. Who's got the worst team? Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder? Press 1 for Wilder, press 2 for Joshua. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you right now, yeah? I'm going to press 1 for Wilder. He got the worst team, man. He got the worst team, man. I don't care what anyone says. His team's terrible, man. His team fucking told him he was drugged. He's fucking Jay Diaz automatically puts that over the top. What? All you guys are saying AJ's got a worse team than Wilder. Are you guys kidding me? John Smith thinks it's AJ. Simon thinks it's AJ. Mark thinks it's AJ. Days and Day thinks it's AJ. Sunny Singh thinks it's AJ. Smart Sir thinks it's AJ. Jordan Jefferson thinks it's AJ. Oh, it's catching up though. Yeah, crazy. One because Diaz. How the fuck is Jay Diaz in the job? Jesus Christ. Based on Jay Diaz alone being in the camp, yeah? Period. That has to go to Wilder's team. Someone in that team let him believe that Mark Breland drugged him. Sorry, he got the worst team in all of boxing. He got the worst team in all of boxing. He was making up stories about Mark Breland drugging him, and nobody in that team told him, Deontay, you're chatting shit. He has got the worst team in boxing. Period. I know fucking Teofimo gets fucking heat, yeah? Teofimo Senior, but fuck me. That whole situation was a fucking joke. That was an absolute joke. Let's have a look. Someone's bringing up Al Sharpton. What are you bringing up Al Sharpton for? Oh my god! Right, let me get this fight up. Sorry, my Frank Warren tablet isn't quite responding very well, so I'm just going to drag up the Hamza Shiraz fight. Now, you guys are saying Shiraz is getting beat. MG saying that Shiraz is 2-0 down to Skeet. So we'll have to see. I'm going to tune in now and see how it goes. But we'll carry on. I'll watch it in the background. Sunny Singh says, well, Malik Scott seems honest. Not sure AJ has one guy who won't lie to him to protect his ego. Malik Scott. Malik Scott does seem honest. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. Maybe Malik Scott's a sort of more than a yes man. Because in the run up to the fight, everybody was saying Malik Scott was just a yes man, weren't they? But now maybe their opinions have changed. But I'm giving it to Wilder. His team's garbage. Right. Let's get this up. Right. Blah 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 blah. Right. Let's get some of this stuff up here on the screen. Bear with me as we get ready to now start to cover these events. Apparently, we're 2 rounds into. Oh my god! I can't get this up. Hold on. We're 2 rounds into. Majiggy. 1 second. Here we go. Let's see if we can get this up. Sorry about this. I did have it working, and I'm having to switch up a bit. Fuck you. Hold on. Oh my god. Here we go. Oh, great. This is going to be great. Right, while I try to find that, I'll go through some questions and comments. Right, I like Malik as a trainer, talks a lot of sense, and I do think he will take Wilder through a few more top guys if they can get the fight. It was going to be Wilder and Andy Ruiz, isn't it? As soon as Wilder gets over his broken hand, that's what it's going to be. Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. What do you guys think about that? I've got Wilder by knockout, 100%. Although Andy Ruiz couldn't take out anybody. But I've got Wilder by knockout over Andy Ruiz. That's my opinion. Wilder by knockout. But listen, Andy Ruiz is more than capable of knocking out Deontay Wilder. I think it's a great fight. Right, here we go. I'm just trying to get this up on my screen. Move this shit here. Here we go. Trying to get this up on my screen. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Here we go. Nearly there. Just getting past a million and one things here. And boom. Right, we've got it up. So sorry about that. I've got that. Big up Ultra. Daryl, listen. Let me tell you. So we're back. Sorry about that. I was just sorting out my my screens here because I had Bradley Skeet and I had the Frank Warren card on my tablet. I've got a couple of tablets set up as screens, but they're fucking up here. Prince Patel. I don't think it's the real Prince Patel. but thank you very much. Easy fight for Wilder. Andy has slow feet and no knockout power. I don't think it's an easy knockout for Deontay Wilder at all, because Andy Ruiz is a very, very good counter puncher and he has extremely fast hands. And if somebody like Wilder falls in against Andy Ruiz, it could be game over. You saw what happened when AJ tried to be the aggressor, yeah, and fell in against him, yeah. You see what happened when AJ tried to be the aggressor and he fell in against Andy Ruiz, yeah? He fell in. What happened when he fell to the inside? Hands were too quick. Hands were too sharp. Lyndon was looking into a good rhythm. He's getting ready to go. That's it, TMT. Not easy. That's a very competitive fight. And Deontay Wilder apparently is willing to take that fight without a tune-up. Doesn't want a tune-up. So, again, you know, you can't question Deontay Wilder as a warrior. You can't question him as a warrior. He wants to take that fight ASAP as soon as his hand gets fixed. So that's what it's looking like. Right. We're into round 4 of Skeet versus Shiraz. Right. And I'm just going to have a quick word about this. Ham Shiraz is walking him down in a tight guard. Now, you know Shiraz. I know what people are saying that Shiraz looks basic, but Shiraz is looking to drown him in deep waters, isn't he? You can just see here. Shiraz is putting the pressure on, high guard, but look at them. Some of them jabs from Skeet are getting right through the center of the guard. Right through the center of the guard. And like I said before, you walk a guy down in a high guard, you've got a responsibility to start catching him. That's the whole point of a high guard. You walk a guy down in a high guard, you're supposed to catch those jabs, especially through the middle. He's getting caught through the middle constantly. Skeet's fucking landing and turning. But I have to say, I do think Shiraz is going to catch up to him because the pace is not extremely high. But I think the pace is good for Hamza Shiraz. But like I said before for Shiraz, either take your head off the center line, so coming at a slight angle, take your head off the center line, yeah? Or you need to tighten up your guard because he's walking around in a high guard, but just straight jabs right through the center are knocking his head back. And right now, honestly, you'd have to give Skeet, from what I've seen so far this round, you'd have to give the round to Skeet because when judges see that, when judges see the head snapping back here off them jabs, they're giving points, they're giving rounds to the guys doing that. But I do think Shiraz is going to get to him. And I'm interested in seeing Shiraz to the body. Is Shiraz hitting there with a jab right hand across the top of the head? And I think that got to him. I think it's only a matter of time before Shiraz is going to get to him here. That's my opinion. But I'd like to see Shiraz just work that body. Not a lot of body work from Shiraz. Let me just see what happens. Hold on a sec. Good. On the way in as well. When you're Shiraz, jab on the way in, pushing back. I like that. Don't walk in, set your feet, and then start punching. So walk in behind the jab. As you're walking in, throw the jab as you walk in. Stiff jab as you walk in. Try and knock Skeet back. Follow in, and then follow up with your combination. Does that make sense? Don't walk in. Don't walk into range, not punching, hold your feet, and then let your hands go. Walk in behind the jab if you're Shiraz. As you're pressuring him, pressuring behind the jab, stiff jab. Even if Skeet catches it, knock him off balance, knock him back, then step in behind and let your hands go. Don't follow him in without punching and then fucking hold your feet and let your hands go. So what I'm looking for from Shiraz is for him to actually jab as he's walking in. As he's walking in, pop that jab. And you see Shiraz is just sitting in front of him. I don't know. It's a tough one. We'll see. But I do think Shiraz is going to stop him. But Shiraz in the minute doesn't look like what we thought he was, because oh my, look at that uppercut from Skeet. That was a beautiful left uppercut. Beautiful little slip uppercut from Skeet. Beautiful slip uppercut from Skeet. Shiraz, we talked about as a possible world champion. The BBC actually did an article on Hamza Shiraz. Look. Let's see if I can find it. The BBC did an article in which they said Shiraz could be a future world champion, and I can't find it in a minute. Hold on. It was an article similar to this. It wasn't this one, but it was an article. People saying, is he the next big star of British boxing? Well, he doesn't look like it at the minute. And listen, I think Dominic Ingle's the best trainer in the country. You know, what do you guys think? Have you ever seen a Dominic Ingle? When was the last time you saw a Dominic Ingle fighter go in? And when was the last time you saw Dominic Ingle take a fighter and that fighter still looked like garbage? There might be a few examples, but for the majority of what I've seen, when Dominic Ingle takes a fighter, you see the fighter get better. Liam Williams is a prime example of that. Let's have a quick look at this. So people ask me where I'm at. I'm probably behind, but I'm 2 minutes 40 to go in round 5. And Shiraz is following Skeet around the ring and not cutting the ring off, which you guys know I hate. So I'd like to see Shiraz just, try and do a better job of, cornering Skeet and getting Skeet into the corners. Shiraz is loading up, when Skeet's in the center of the ring. It's a bad idea because Skeet has got by far the faster feet. So you want to pin him into the corners and then let your hands go. But you want to pin him into the corners behind the jab. So you want to walk him down, throw the jab, move him back in straight lines, and then cut the space off. Cut the space off. But he's doing a very, very bad job of cutting the ring. You can see how easy Skeet's finding it to turn, pivot, and exit. You can see that, right? That's why Skeet's still in this fight. As soon as Shiraz cuts him off, he's gonna stop him. But you see how easy Skeet's finding it, how much space he's finding. You see Skeet's always turning to his left. Feint, turn, exit. Feint, throw a shot, turn, exit. It's too easy. It's too easy for Bradley Skeet to find space in the ring from Shiraz, if Shiraz starts throwing that right hand a little bit more, as Skeet's turning around his left hand side, maybe that will start making Skeet think twice. So you can see Skeet always step into that left hand side. Either Shiraz, bring the right hand right hook across him. Try and cut him off, moving in that direction. Because all you can see Skeet doing now is feint, touch, and step to his left. See, touch, feint, but he's always stepping to that left. And Shiraz is just fucking following him around and not cutting the ring off. You need to start throwing some right hands there, Hamza, off them jabs. Right hand, right hook. Or start cutting him off. There we go, through a right hand. Just miss. Just whiz by. But you want to stop him moving to his left, mate. You want to stop him getting that. You want to stop him from, turning out the way he's turning out. You're finding too much space in the ring. Mark Stanton says it's a crime not cutting off the ring against legs with legs that long. Am I right or am I wrong? He's following him around, didn't he? Follow them around. 121 in the chat and 92 likes. That's really good. Thank you. If a few more people want to hit the like button, that'd be fantastic. All right. We're getting close to the main event, so we'll keep an eye, on Shiraz and Skeet. We'll keep an eye on it. I'm not going to do the whole commentary for it because I think people will get the numbers. As soon as I started talking about it, the numbers dropped already. But we're close to the main event. We're very close to the main event now. So we'll follow the fight. Good right hand there from Shiraz. It just whizzed by. I'd like to see Shiraz there throw a few more, walk in with the jab and set up a few more right hands and try and stop Skeet moving to his left-hand side all the time. The Skeet looking very, very good. Right, let's move on. Yarde and Arthur. Do you guys believe, we talked about excuses earlier on. We spoke about excuses. Anthony Yarde says, due to family problems that he had, right? Due to family problems, losing members of his family to coronavirus and stuff like that. Anthony Yarde says he wasn't mentally right before the first fight. What do you think? Do you believe that? We all know Lyndon Arthur basically fought one-handed in the first fight, right? But do you believe in Anthony Yarde and what Anthony Yarde says? Does anybody believe Anthony Yarde? He says here, as you can see, I had a bad year, and in combat sports, you need to be physically and mentally sound. I shouldn't have been in the ring. I shouldn't have even been in the ring against Lyndon Arthur. Does anybody believe that? Does anybody also believe in the fact that the crowd made a huge difference to Anthony Yarde? That's another one of his claims as well. The crowd made a huge difference in the run-up to the fight. Not having a crowd, the lack of a crowd, made a huge difference to Anthony Yarde in the run-up to the fight. Do you guys buy into that? Or do you think that's bullshit? Let me know. Let me know. We're talking about, listen, it's crunch time, isn't it now? It's crunch time. And the winner against the winner of Callum Johnson and Joe Smith. Does anybody have an opinion on Yarde or Lyndon Arthur against the winner of Callum Johnson and Joe Smith? Who do you think has a better chance against the winner of Callum Johnson and Joe Smith, Yarde or Arthur? Tell you what, we haven't seen Tunde Ajayi backstage yet. But fuck me. Ooh, very nice. Very nice, Shevin. Very nice. We haven't seen much from Tunde Ajayi backstage yet. I tell you what, the pressure on him must be immense. Let me tell you, the pressure must be immense right now. Hold on. Pressure must be immense on Tunde, boy. Pressure's immense on me because I can't spell Tunde's name. There we go. The pressure will be absolutely immense on this man right now. As again, it's a shame that we couldn't get the face-to-face. It's a big shame that we couldn't get that face-to-face. Big shame that we couldn't get that face-to-face. It's Bradley Skeet is making Hamza Shiraz look fucking silly in this ring. I'm just having a look at bits and bobs. But tell you what, Hamza Shiraz is looking pretty fucking basic at the minute right now. You know, he needs to cut off Bradley Skeet ASAP, you know? I want to see him start cutting off that ring, and I want to see him start throwing right hands, right hooks to the body, whatever it takes to stop Skeet moving to his left-hand side. That's what I would say. If I'm not a coach of any sort, but if I was in Hamza Shiraz's team, I would say Bradley Skeet is only circling in one direction. He's jabbing, he's left hooking, and he's circling out to his left-hand side every single time. So for me, I want to stop Bradley Skeet circling in that direction. I want to see Bradley Skeet start moving in the other direction. So I want to keep moving. If you're Hamza Shiraz, I want to see Hamza Shiraz move to his right and throw that right hand. Move to his right and throw that right hand. Joe says, I think he just completely, talking about Anthony Yarde. Joe says, I think he just completely overlooked Arthur and assumed a stoppage was inevitable. I'm not sure about that, but we'll see. Joe says, I think Joe Smith Jr. wins his fight versus Johnson and that Yarde has a better chance versus him. So would you agree with Joe? Joe thinks that Anthony Yarde has a better chance against Joe Smith Jr. in a world title fight than Lyndon Arthur does. Is that due to the power difference? Do you guys think that Lyndon Arthur could beat Joe Smith for a world title? Because the winner of this fight is fighting for a title afterwards. I think if you're Queensberry Promotions, I've got to be careful what I say here, but if you're Queensberry Promotions, they'll want Anthony Yarde to win this fight. Would anybody disagree with that? They will want Anthony Yarde to win this fight. Queensberry, obviously, they don't like Lyndon Arthur. But I think Queensberry deep down will be rooting for Anthony Yarde to win this fight because Anthony Yarde, for me, looks like, again, he's the more marketable fighter. He's got that crossover appeal. If things are looking a bit desperate in that corner, in that Shiraz corner. Let me just turn this sound. Things are looking a bit desperate in that Shiraz corner, you know. I can't hear what his trainer's saying because I've got the sound down, but I might turn it up in a minute. He's just following them around the ring. I want to hear what he's saying. And I want to see him start trying his best to cut this guy off and stop him moving to his left. Ricky Funes apparently swearing in the corner at Hamza Shiraz. Bradley Skeet smiling in the corner. They think they've got this fight. I wouldn't trust the cards. I wouldn't trust his cards. Right, let's have a look. Stephen Jones says Callum Johnson knocks him out. He thinks Callum Johnson knocks out Joe Smith. My God, Richie Woodhall has got Skeet 4 points ahead of Shiraz. So it's in a 10-round fight. He's got Shiraz needing a stoppage. I forgot it was 10 rounds and not 12. Bradley Skeet stays on his feet. According to Richie Woodhall, Bradley Skeet is gonna win this fight. Good right here. There you go. MG says Skeet is now the bookie's favourite. Mark Stanton says, agree with the scorecard. Skeet should be up. Let me see what Hamza Shiraz is doing. I would love to ask, you know, like I said, I would love to get someone like a Troy. Troy Williamson will be watching this because you remember at one point, Troy Williamson was nearly going to fight Hamza Shiraz. That was a fight that Queensberry were very, very keen to make. Now, watching this, Troy Williamson will be laughing watching this. He will be absolutely laughing watching this. So if there was any way we could get him on tonight, I would love to get his opinion on that fight. But what do you guys see from Shiraz in this fight? Do you guys think I'm wrong about that? How he's following them around the ring. Like, I just think Skeet is having way too much space. Skeet has been turning the same way all night. Can you see? He goes feint. He throws a jab or a left hook and he turns out on his left side every time. Can you see? Feint. Obviously, there's more to it. Skeet's incredibly skillful, right? There's more to it than that, right? But can you see? Skeet's doing it right now. It's all the same. Holds his feet, feint, counter, but he always steps out to his left-hand side. He always exits with a left hook or a double jab or a jab. He steps to his left, you know? And Shiraz is loading up on shots. Just want to see Shiraz start cutting him off to that left-hand side. You know what? Maybe start looking at throwing the right hand to the body instead of headhunting. Maybe just start throwing that right hand to the body or that right hook to the body. But he's letting... Well, hold on a minute. Here we go. He finally looks like he might have called. He just lets Skeet escaping all the time. Constantly letting Skeet escaping. And there's a bit of a lack of a jab there from Shiraz as well. Can you see on the way in? Very, very reluctant to jab. Jab to the chest. I know you've had problems headhunting him. So just lower the jab. Can we get a jab to the chest from Shiraz? Can we get a jab to the body from Shiraz? He's getting absolutely schooled at the minute right now. Absolutely schooled. It's embarrassing. Can I see a jab to the body? Can I see a jab to the chest? Shiraz needs to hit something now. Chest, arms, body, anything. It looks like his head's gone. He's looking for the knockout. Oh, it was a good left hook there, though, he hit him with there. That was a good left hook from Shiraz. But it looks like Shiraz knows he's fucked, and he's going for the knockout. It looks like he's looking for the big shot. There you go. Do you see that from Shiraz? Jab to the body, right hand. He clipped him right on the chin. He needs to start, like I said before, chest, arms, body, the lot. But he needs to start cutting Skeet off and stop him exiting. That was a better round from Shiraz. And he started with the body, went jab to the body, and then he threw the right hand up top. You're head hunting too much. Lower that jab. If you have to hit the chest, if you have to hit the solar plexus, the body, hit whatever it takes. But you've got to stop Skeet exiting off that left-hand side, man. Start cutting Skeet off. Right hands to the body. When Skeet tries to move to his left, walk him into a right hook to the body. Throw right hooks as he tries to move to his left. Stop him. You want to square him up. Does that make yes or no? Does what I'm saying make sense, or am I talking gibberish? You want to get Skeet squared up and then have it out with him, as Mickey Elliott would say. Square him up and have it out with him. Take his legs away, right? When he tries to exit on the left, when he tries to throw his jab and steps to his left, when he tries to throw his left hook and escape to the left, right hand, right hooks to the body, right hook to the shoulder. Hit something, anything to keep him squared up in front of you. Then you can let your hands go and hurt him. The problem is Skeet's got too much space and too much time. Joe Wall says that 100% makes sense. I mean, it's embarrassing to watch. Skeet's been circling in the same direction. Listen, a lot of fighters have a preferred way that they circle. I always preferred as a southpaw. I'm a lot better at going moving to my own right hand side than I am to my left. I don't like moving to my left into the orthodox right hand. So there are, not all fighters, but some fighters have a preferred direction that they like to circle, a preferred direction that they're better at going in, right? And to me, it looks like that's Skeet's left. And Shiraz needs to cut him off. Skeet's still turning on the left, turning. That was a good combination from Skeet. Too much time. But Shiraz, can you see? He stopped jabbing, and what he's trying to do, Shiraz is walking himself into range, yeah? And he's not walking in behind any punches, no jab, nothing. Shiraz is just walking himself into range, planting his feet, and then loading up. It's big trouble for that. Big trouble. There you go. Good jab right hand there from Shiraz, and Skeet ducked underneath it. That was a good duck from Skeet. You see that? Jab right hand there from Shiraz, and Skeet came underneath it. So what do we do now for Hamza Shiraz? Let's start throwing that jab right hand to the chest, to the body. We know Skeet's ducking. We know Skeet, when Skeet sees the right hand, he looks to roll the right hand. That's fine. Let's start looking at throwing right uppercut. This is what Canelo does. You know when Canelo Alvarez fights southpaws, right? And Skeet's just turned southpaw right now, by the way. Do you know when Canelo Alvarez fights southpaws, right? Like Billy Joe Saunders, right? And they try to roll underneath the right hand. You know what Canelo does when he sees fighters trying to roll underneath his right hand? He turns it into a right uppercut. That's what he did against Billy Joe Saunders. If he sees a fighter trying to roll underneath his right hand, yeah, then he says, that's fine. I'll throw it to the chest and then I'll turn it into an uppercut. And then he takes that away from a fighter. There's nothing that we've seen like that from Skeet at all. Is he hurt him? Oh, he's hurt. I think he's, no, he's not. Sorry, my bad. I thought Skeet had him hurt, but he didn't. My bad. Sorry. Yeah, good point from some TMT. TMT says, good upward shots from Skeet to pierce through the high guard. Yeah, Skeet's doing a very, very good job of throwing the up jab. Oh, he got him. Right hand. Oh, that was dodgy what he did. That was wrong. He's got to him, but it was the right hand from Shiraz. But you see what he did? He kept hitting him when he was on the floor. That was wrong. He took a knee. Is that right or wrong? That was very dodgy what I just saw. That was terrible from Shiraz. And he had the fight. He knocked him down with the right hand, and he had the fight. And that's the shot I was calling. Was I not calling for that shot the whole time? Was I not saying, if Shiraz needs to step across him and throw the right hand, and he did it, and he nailed him, and he had him down, and then he lost his cool, and he punched him. That should be I have to say, Shiraz is saying that's a disqualification. I have to be honest, if Skeet says he doesn't want to continue, if you're Skeet, you shouldn't continue. Why would you continue? He took like fucking 4 unanswered shots to his head. He's looking at his corner. He should not continue. He should not continue. He's going to continue, but he shouldn't. Let me hear this. This is appalling. Skeet's going to fight on. That's appalling. I tell you, that is absolutely appalling. Shiraz needs a point deducted. He's getting a point deducted. That is appalling. That is appalling. Very, very bad form from Shiraz. And there was no need for that. What do you guys think? There was no need for that. Shiraz had him out of there. Let's see what Shiraz can do now. It's the right hand's the key now from Shiraz. Good left hook, good left hook. It's the right hand that's the key from Shiraz. It's the right hand that's the key from Shiraz. But you've got to step to your right and throw the right hand, Shiraz. Go, that was a great right hand from him. That's it. That was a beautiful right hand from Shiraz. But I tell you what, this is a bad, bad fight. Bad, bad fight. This is bad. What do you guys think here? This is bad. End of the round. This is bad. Bad for boxing. I tell you what, I like Ham Shiraz, but he should be ashamed of himself for that. I'm not happy about that at all. To be honest, that should go to the cards. But I'm looking at the replay now. He hit him with 2 unanswered shots as he was kneeling down on the floor. Let's have a look here. So it was the right hand, and there you what happened. Now you see what I said about when a guy likes to roll the right hand, change it to an uppercut or throw it to the body. What Shiraz did, he didn't do that. But you look at Shiraz on the first knockdown, yeah? Shiraz slightly dropped the right hand a bit lower because he knew Skeet was going to roll it. Did you see that? So what Shiraz did is he slightly lowered the right hand. He threw the right hand slightly lower, and it caught Skeet at the top of the head and knocked him out. And then the second right hand was all she wrote. You can see there. It's bad. Very, very bad stuff there. Very, very bad stuff. Very, very bad stuff. Very, very bad stuff there from Shiraz. But as we told you, the key all along to the fight, but to be honest, from Shiraz, he needs to be stepping to his own right-hand side and throwing it. He's still letting Skeet escape to the left. Can you guys see it now? We're in the start of round 9. He's still letting Skeet escape to his own left-hand side. He needs to be pinning him in. Throw right hook. Square him up. There you go. He threw a left and a right hook. There you go. Left hook. So you throw a right hook and get him square. So what I'm trying to say is, you want to... Oh, my God. This one's over. Right, left hook. Skeet's all over the place. This is bad. Left hook, right hook. But Shiraz needs to... Let's have a look. Hold on. This one's nearly over. I'd imagine they're getting a towel ready. But Skeet is fighting valiantly. It's such a bad fight. That was a lovely right hook there from Shiraz. Left uppercut, right hook. That was a lovely shot. Frank Warren standing on his feet. 135 in the chat. The referees waved it off. That is very, very bad. I hope they're booing. Let's turn it up. Hold on. That's disgraceful. Whole crowd's booing. That is, for me, I need to see a rematch. You need to see a rematch. That needs to be an immediate rematch. And get that on again. And give Bradley Skeet... Let me tell you something. Bradley Skeet hasn't fought in a very, very long time, has he? Certainly hasn't fought any top opponents in a long time. That was bad from Shiraz. That was bad. I'm not happy about that. Because them extra shots on the canvas could have potentially changed that fight. And he hit him twice, clearly on the floor. There has to be an immediate rematch. But Shiraz is not world level of the basis of that performance. The feet are atrocious tonight from Shiraz. And like I said, let me just quickly break down the story of this fight and then we'll move on. How do you think I called that fight? Do you think I called that well or bad? Or how do you think I called the tactics of that fight? As I kept saying, Bradley Skeet was always being given space to exit on his left-hand side. And as I said, the key for Shiraz is as Skeet's moving to his left, throw the right hand off the jab. To me, to be honest, I want to see him throw that right hook. I also want to see him throw that right hook to the body. But he kept, but eventually it was the right hand that did the job from Shiraz. But that's what I wanted to see. But the feet were wrong. And if you watch the fight, you can see Skeet is only circling in one direction. Skeet will go jab, jab, up jab, exit on his left-hand side. He'll throw a check hook, exit on his left-hand side. And Shiraz let him escape to the left all night long. The footwork from Shiraz was embarrassing. He followed him around the ring. He never cut the ring off. He didn't walk in. Let me tell you what good fighters do. Good fighters walk in behind a stiff jab. Even if a fighter blocks the jab, right? You walk in with the stiff jab. If someone like Bradley Skeet's quite a slippery fighter, right? If you see Skeet start rolling the jab and rolling underneath the jab, then you start throwing the jab to the chest. You start throwing the jab to the body. But what you want to do is, with a guy like Skeet, you want him to move back in straight lines. You don't want him using his lateral movement like that. And walking in behind a nice jab, double up the jab, jab to the chest, jab to the body. It gets these smaller fighters moving back in straight lines. And then you step in and you throw your combinations off them shots. And Shiraz wasn't doing any of that tonight. It was literally, he was walking in. He was just strolling in, walking himself into range, holding his feet and then loading up. Walking behind the jab. When you see your jab isn't landing because the guy is slippery, the guy's a great boxer, adjust the jab. Bring the jab to the chest. Bring the jab to the body. Start getting him moving back in straight lines and then step in and throw your shots. If you see him moving to his left-hand side, right hook. Bring the right hook across him. This is basic shit. You see the fighter's always moving to his left-hand side. He's moving into your right hand. Throw the right hook across the guy. And it took him fucking 10 rounds to do it. It took him 10 rounds to do it. He ain't a world champion. He is not a world champion based on that performance tonight. Don't hear any more. That is an immediate rematch. That is an immediate rematch. That is an immediate rematch. And to be honest, I like Hamza Shiraz. He's lucky. He is lucky to still have his own. That really should have been Paul Dempsey with David Hay. Let me just pay this. Hold on.
And there's a big question mark about that, because if he goes up in level, Steve, he won't get away with that tonight. How did he get away with it on this occasion?
He got away with it on this occasion because, let's be brutally honest, in the 8th round, he caught and legitimately dropped Skeet, and then he hit him twice illegally.
Yeah, Steve Bunce is saying he hit him twice illegally. Question marks have to be asked. Benji says, who's got a live link? Nobody. All we've got is bans. That's all we've got. No live links here. All we've got is bans. Abdullah, who is welcome to come on and give his listen. But listen, let me tell you, post-fight, it's open season. We've got 161 in the chat. The main event is getting ready, yeah? It's crunch time for Tunde Ajayi. It is crunch time. Tunde Ajayi's career is on the line. 161 in the chat. Please hit the like button. Let's get this going. I want to get Troy Williamson. I would love to get Troy Williamson on this show tonight. I've messaged him. I don't know if he gives a shit. I would love to get Troy Williamson on here tonight to get his thoughts on that performance from Shiraz. Because on that performance, Troy Williamson will be fucking pissing his pants. He'll be thinking, Jesus Christ, are you kidding me? He'll be thinking, I am levels above this guy. Let me just get this up. Give me 1 sec, yeah? Let me just get up some new graphics. That was bad. Very, 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 very controversial. Let's see if we can get some of the comments from Twitter. Give me a sec. Very, very controversial. And as usual, Twitter's going tits up. I don't know if Benson deleted his tweet. Right, let me go through your comments. Sorry, guys. I'm doing about 150 things at the same time. Right, let's go through some comments. Ash R says, Frank will lose credibility if he doesn't get Skeet the Shiraz rematch. Absolutely has to be a rematch. Immediately. Skeet cannot, neither fighter should move on until there's a rematch. Very, very questionable. By the way, it's not Frank Warren's fault, right? It's not Frank Warren's fault that Ham Shiraz did something illegal. Here are the comments from Twitter in real time. Look. Disgraceful, definite DQ. Should have been DQ'd instantly. Bum, should have been a DQ. 2 to 3. Can I have a spoon? Thank you very much. So my missus is bringing me some. She's the best in the world, isn't she? She's the best in the world. Right. Disgusting. 2-3 punches while he's down. Definitely a DQ. That was BS. Look, it's a disgrace. That is an absolute fucking disgrace. Stephen Mooney says, sorry, I just joined. In a nutshell, what happened? In a nutshell, Bradley Skeet was on his way to a points victory over Hamza Shiraz. I thought Shiraz was going to get him late anyway. Shiraz caught him with a very good right hand, right around the back of the head, that knocked Skeet down legitimately, and Skeet was hurt. But the problem was, when Skeet's knee hit the canvas, that should have been a break in the action. Hamza Shiraz then hit Skeet with 2 shots, including a left hook right around the side of the head that knocked him down while he was on his knees. He should have been disqualified, or the fight should have been stopped there and then. Dave Lane says, confused as why Skeet didn't stay down. Because he's a fighter. Fighters have got pride. It's disgusting, isn't it? There needs to be an immediate rematch. No, absolutely disgusting. Mark Stanton says, expected Shiraz to win, but that was a poor show. Any talk about Shiraz being world level, get the fuck out of here. No way. No way. Any chat about how Shiraz is a world level fighter? No way. That bandwagon got burned down tonight. No way. No way. Joe Wall says Shiraz looked very robotic, very basic. Do you know what? I don't know what some of these coaches in boxing are doing, you know. I really don't. By the way, guys, 164 in the chat, 98 likes. Hit the fucking like button. Gosh, hit the fucking like button, man. Where else are you going to get this real and raw commentary? Nowhere. Hit the like button. Let's go through some of your comments there. Joe says, I bet on Shiraz halfway through because I thought he'd win by robbery on the cards. I made like £20, but I feel sick watching that. Abdul says he's the house fighter. That's why boxing politics disgust me. Abdul also says Skeet should have stayed down. Once dirty tactics come into the fight, then all cards are on the... That's a great point. Can anybody disagree with what Abdul said there? Abdullah says Skeet should have stayed down. Once dirty tactics come into the fight, then all cards are on the table. Maybe Abdul will come and join us for the post-fight. You know what Abdul's like. He's rawer than me. So you know how Abdul goes in. Abdullah Muhammad, a.k.a. Mr. No Vaseline. When Abdul goes in, he goes in unprotected. So it is what it is, isn't it? Killer Cam says, amateur for the corner, not to tell Shiraz to throw a right rather than chase. I don't know what the fuck this corner are doing tonight. No, is that it? I don't know what's going on. All I know is this, yeah, right? I'm no boxer, but if a guy keeps doing that against me, I'm not even orthodox. But if I was an orthodox and a guy kept doing that to me, I'm throwing right hands, right hooks. Right, I think this is it. I think we're ready for the main event. They're shoving Yarde and Arthur out of there ASAP. Frank Warren said, listen, I've heard all your complaints. The night bus, the last train, the last London Underground train, probably sets off in the next 2 hours. This fight's on. Anthony Yarde is coming to the ring. We've got the main event. Let's get going. Hold on. Let's get this up. This is crunch time now for Anthony Yarde, who's now at the ring. Let me hear this thing. Hold on.
Tonight to be his night.
He's coming out to You Can't Stop the Rain by who sings that? I know it. You Can't Stop the Rain. Is it Loose Ends? Am I right about that? Those of you who were born in the 1980s like me, You Can't Stop the Rain. Is that Loose Ends? Shout out to Leon McKenzie. He loves Loose Ends, boy. Shout out to Leon McKenzie. Big shout out to Daryl. Again, Daryl and Abdul, if you want the link after the show to come and give your thoughts, it's not a problem with me. Daryl says, Skeet should have milked it. Should have been a DQ. If a ref doesn't do his job, then you have to take matters into your own hands. I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that at all. I can't argue. Anthony Yarde is on his way to the ring. Loose ends. You can't stop the rain. I'm just trying to get some good graphics up. This fight is on. This is not the end of Anthony Yarde, but I'm telling you now, I believe if he gets beaten badly, it'll be the end of Tunde Ajayi as a top level coach. That's my opinion on that. I could be wrong, but I just think, like I said before, I think the guy has a very, very bad reputation in boxing. Whether that's right or wrong. So for Tunde, this is it. This is it. Yarde versus Arthur live. Let me drag this across. We've even got the tail of the tape for you up here. Let me get this up on the screen. Hold on. You've even got the tail of the tape for you right here. There you go. So you want to know the height and the reach? You've got the tail of the tape for you up here. Yarde versus Arthur live. 168 people in the chat. Anthony Yarde is in the ring. We're just waiting for Lyndon Arthur. Lions in the camp. Lions in the camp. This is it now. Like I said before, Anthony Yarde can come back from a loss because he'll hire a new trainer. But this will be the end for Tunde Ajayi. If Yarde gets beaten convincingly. And let me tell you something. There's been a few shocks tonight, haven't they? George Fox was upset earlier on tonight by Kamil Solokowski. Lyndon Arthur makes his way out to the arena. Let's see. Lyndon Arthur featuring Sonny Edwards. We all know where Sonny Edwards was last night. It looks like Lyndon Arthur's coming to the ring with Sonny Edwards, Zelfa Barrett, and Pat Barrett. Lyndon Arthur coming to the ring. Here we go. He looks very comfortable. He looks very, very comfortable. He's my favourite to win this fight. I don't want him to win. I want Yarde to win. But I do think Lyndon Arthur's going to win this fight. Lyndon Arthur coming to the ring. Unbelievable. So let's just go through. There have been some shocks tonight. There have been shocks tonight already, okay? George Fox, a highly rated prospect, was beaten by Kamil Solokowski, who a lot of people thought beat David Adele. Hamza Shiraz, very, very controversial, was on the way, in my opinion, to getting beat by Bradley Skeet. I thought if that fight was to go to the card, well, he did knock him down, but it was looking like at the time he was behind on the cards. Very, very questionable from Hamza Shiraz, hitting Bradley Skeet while he was on the floor. He should have been disqualified at the minimum, in my opinion. The referee, Bradley Skeet, certainly should have milked it and stayed down. He didn't do it, and it was what it was. These two are both in the ring. Anthony Yarde and Lyndon Arthur is imminent. We've got 170 people in the chat. Please hit the like button. Let's get this on. If you haven't subscribed, if you're interested in real and raw commentary, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're interested in it. We don't charge. There's no cost. There's no monthly membership. There's no Google ads. There's nothing. So it's up to you what you want to do. But if I was you, I know what I would do. Let's go for your last minute predictions. Right now, spam the chat with your predictions. Spam the chat with your last minute predictions. Joe has got Yarde to win by hook or by crook. But I have money on Arthur because I got good odds for it. But he is going for Yarde to win this fight. Stephen Jones is going with Anthony Yarde by KO. Chris is going for Lyndon Arthur. Games You Love is going for Anthony Yarde by robbery. Let me tell you something. If I was backstage seeing some of the refereeing, for Bradley Skeet and Hamza Shiraz, I'd be very, very concerned about Lyndon Arthur going to the cards. Do you know what? If anybody knows what the cards were between Shiraz and Skeet at the time of stoppage, I would love to know. If anybody can find that out, let me know. Let me know. Yarde versus Arthur. Live and ready to get going. This fight's going to start in the next minute or two. Chris T is going with Arthur. Late round knockout. King Nico is going for Yarde to win by KO. A few of you, look, Jawad Hussein is going for Yarde to win by KO. M.A. Khan is going for Lyndon Arthur on points. Mark Stanton's going for Arthur stoppage in 10. Uncle Philly My Ass is going for Lyndon by KO. Watch it. Listen, I'm not a betting man. I never bet, yeah? But if I was a betting man, I have to say, apparently the odds on Lyndon Arthur to win by knockout in this fight are something like 6-1 or 7-1. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, I'd probably bet on Lyndon Arthur to win by stoppage, in my opinion. Maybe not knock Anthony Yarde out cold, but to win the fight by stoppage. Maybe stop Anthony Yarde on his feet. Will Anthony Yarde be able to keep the pace and keep the pressure up on the fight? Most industry experts, all right, get this up here. Most industry experts believe that what will happen in this fight is that Yarde will start fast, yeah? And that Lyndon Arthur will have to weather a storm early on. So that's how most people are seeing it. Most people are seeing it that Lyndon Arthur will have to weather a storm early on in the fight, but he'll weather it and he'll take Yarde into the later rounds, and Yarde will gas and he'll get picked off by Lyndon Arthur's jab, and that will be the end of the fight. So what do you guys think about that? That's why a lot of people are fancying Lyndon Arthur by stoppage, because they fancy, big up to Wayne Alexander in the house, man. Wayne, I don't want to disturb it. I know you was a former European champion. Well, I'm sure you was a WBU champion as well, Wayne. Former top-level boxer, Wayne Alexander. I'm pretty sure Wayne was a British, a European, and certainly had some form of the world title as well. These are the kind of people that we have tuned in. I keep telling people, right? I know for a fact all I'll say is this: we do get people who are actually in the industry who constantly tune in. And I know that all the time. So, like I said, big shout out to Wayne Alexander. Big shout out to Wayne Alexander. And again, more than welcome, Wayne, to get the link and come on and give your post-fight thoughts for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, however long you want to do. Right, let's go. Andy Lee is on Twitter calling for a rematch between Bradley Skeet and Hamza Shiraz. So that's Andy Lee is calling for a rematch. Adam Booth, Twitter's going mad with this stuff. Adam Booth is saying it's an instant disqualification, as is Sam Jones. This fight is about to go. The first bell is getting ready. This is it, man. Like I said before, this isn't going to be the end for Anthony Yarde, right? No matter what happens, this won't be the end for Anthony Yarde. But I do believe if he loses tonight and loses badly, this will be the end for Tunde Ajayi. As we get going, Anthony Yarde straight on the front foot, and he's got Lyndon Arthur backed up to the rope straight away. Lots of head movement, lots of feint from Yarde, good left hook from Yarde, good right hook to the body. Nice tactics from Yarde. And Yarde already is doing what Yarde has done in the fucking space of 20 seconds, what Hamza Shiraz failed to do, yeah, against Bradley Skeet for 10 rounds. Anthony Yarde is taking him 10 seconds to cut the ring off. There you go, Wayne Alexander. Look at this, British EBU and WBU champion. Shout out to Wayne Alexander, listening in live. Great start from Anthony Yarde. The feints and the head movement. Let's have a look. Lots of feinting, lots of head movement. Arthur's getting that jab going, though. Very, very physical early on. Lyndon Arthur looks huge, by the way. Lyndon Arthur looks absolutely huge, by the way. I will get to your comments in a section. Lyndon Arthur looks huge. I wonder, see when they're in the clinches, and I wonder if that's going to drain Yarde, because Arthur looks huge, but Arthur's struggling to, let's see how Arthur wants to get that jab going. If you're Anthony Yarde, you want to get that right hand going against the low left hand. Good left hook from Anthony Yarde. Good right hook from Anthony Yarde. You know what you want to do if you're Anthony Yarde? You want to throw that right hand over the low left of Lyndon Arthur. But Anthony Yarde doesn't have the reach advantage, so it's going to be very, very difficult to get in behind Lyndon Arthur's jab and get the right hand over the top. But that was a lovely right hand from Yarde. Yo, he's hurt. That was a big right hand from Yarde. Lyndon Arthur was hurt. But he's steady. But that was a lovely little feint there from Anthony Yarde. It was a right hand, right uppercut. That was a lovely little bit of work from Yarde, but he's feinting. It's the right hand over the top for Yarde will be the shot. If Yarde walks himself into range, it's the right hand over the top of the low left. Look out for the overhand right from Anthony Yarde. But like I said before, Lyndon Arthur knew this was going to be very, very cagey early on. He knew it was going to be tough early on. It's what happens in the later rounds. Can Yarde keep up this pace? That was a lovely little right hand there from Arthur. But if you look at Yarde's feet, already starting to slow a little bit. Yarde's feet are already starting to slow. So, like I said before, good start from Yarde, but the feet for me already starting to slow. But the key is so far, Yarde, quick feet, quickening up the feet, closing down the range very, very quickly. But he's throwing the feints. I like the feints that he's throwing at Lyndon Arthur. He's throwing the feints. And Lyndon Arthur, he's thrown. Arthur can't get the timing down on the jab. Look at the way Yarde's coming in. Yarde's throwing plenty of foot triggers and plenty of foot feints. Good jab there from Lyndon Arthur. That was probably the second good jab he landed tonight. Another good jab from Lyndon Arthur. But let's see. This is the key to the fight. Yarde was throwing him. That was a good right hand from Anthony Yarde. 13 seconds to go. Sorry about that. Darryl was saying ref both allowed them to work inside and roughhouse. I think the roughhousing might suit Lyndon Arthur as the fight goes on because he looks the stronger. But Yarde is whipping them body shots up on the inside and doubling up. That was a great first round from Anthony Yarde, but I'm not convinced he can keep that up because, like I said before, very, very quick start from Yarde, very, very quick feet, closing distance very, very quickly, looking to slip the jab, of Lyndon Arthur as well. But I like the feints that he kind of stopped throwing them for me in the second half of that round. But I like what he's doing when he throws them little foot triggers, when he throws them foot feints, and makes Arthur fall short with the jab. That's nice. What I like from Yarde. Throw the timing. Feints are great for throwing off timing. A guy like Lyndon Arthur is going to want to get into a rhythm behind the jab. He's going to want to get into a rhythm. So if Yarde can, like I said, throw those foot triggers, get Lyndon Arthur to throw a jab, miss a jab, make him fall short, that's going to throw Arthur's rhythm off. That's going to throw Arthur's timing off. And then Yarde closing with the quick feet and throwing the right hand over the top. If Yarde gets Lyndon Arthur out of there, it's going to have to be the right hand over the top is the key to watch. That's the key to watch. Let's have a look. Round 2. The key is going to be Anthony Yarde's feet is the key. It was a good little left uppercut from Yarde. Yarde's feet are quick again. High guard. Lyndon Arthur's pumping. That's a lovely double jab from Lyndon Arthur. Lovely double jab from Lyndon Arthur. Another jab from Lyndon Arthur. This is the danger of the fight. Yarde's got to keep throwing them feints and getting him to commit to the jab, make him fall short. There you go. Yarde just threw a little trigger. Lyndon Arthur threw the jab, fell short. Go and make him fall short with that jab. Or slip it or whatever. But if Lyndon Arthur gets into a rhythm with the jab, this one's probably going to be over. But let me tell you something. Yarde is throwing heavy artillery in there. But Lyndon Arthur looks huge. John Smith saying Yarde levels above. No, at the minute, I would probably lean towards Lyndon Arthur because I don't believe Anthony Yarde. It's been a very, very fast start. I'm not sure Yarde can keep up this pace. 2 minutes to go in round 2. Yarde's made him fall short with it. If Yarde can make him fall short with that jab, the key for Yarde is the following. Throw the foot feints. So throw the feint to make Arthur think you're going to step in and trigger off Arthur's jab, make him fall short. You've got to throw his timing off of that left hand. Good slip from Yarde as well. But if Arthur gets the timing down on the jab, this fight's done. Arthur looks much stronger in the clinches. Arthur's now dog walking him over to the ropes and landing a couple of sneaky right uppercuts in there. This kind of stuff, yeah, it suits in Lyndon Arthur. You can see how much physically stronger Arthur is on the inside. Arthur's bullying him and dog walking him around. Look, he's literally moving Yarde and he's pushing Yarde into the corners and moving him back. If I was Anthony Yarde, you know what? At some point, I would say, enough, I don't want to be engaging in too much clinching. 186 in the chat right now. It's been mainly an inside fight for most of this second round. That's a good jab from Lyndon Arthur. You know what? Lyndon Arthur there, and Lyndon Arthur, that was interesting. You see what Lyndon Arthur did that time? He was the one who engaged the clinch on Anthony Yarde. So Lyndon Arthur there didn't look to keep distance. He walked into the clinch with Anthony Yarde. He engaged him in the clinch because he knows he can tie Yarde. It's huge. Lyndon Arthur looks big for the weight. So he can walk Anthony Yarde around. That was a good jab, little right hook to the body here by Lyndon Arthur. There's a better round from Lyndon Arthur. But the key to the fight here is, look what he's doing. Lyndon's engaging in the clinches with Yarde. That was a good right uppercut from Lyndon. He's engaging in the clinches with Yarde. That was a good left hook to the body from Yarde. You know what? If you're Anthony Yarde, when they're up close, right uppercut, if you're Anthony Yarde. When Lyndon Arthur's engaging in the clinches and walking you back, if you see the head fall down the middle, bring up the right uppercut. As Lyndon Arthur threw right uppercut himself. But I just think, look, better round from Lyndon Arthur, to be honest. The clinching, if I'm Yarde, I don't want him engaging in the clinching so much. I'm going to turn up the sound at the end of this round because I want to hear what Tunde's telling Yarde. I don't know. Wayne Alexander, Wayne, if you're still listening, Wayne's boxed at world and European level. What do you think about the clinching, Wayne, between Yarde and Arthur? I think the clinching suits Arthur. There you go. Daryl's saying Arthur has realised he can bully Yarde in the clinch. He's taken the inside option away from Yarde. You see, there Arthur is engaging in a clinch there towards the end of that round. He was engaging in a clinch. He was the one walking into Yarde, clinching him, and then dog walking him back into the corner. If you're Yarde, you don't want to be fighting. Do you know what? If you're Yarde, what I like to see from Yarde is when he clinches you, pivot and just escape. If that makes sense. It probably doesn't make sense at all, but pivot, turn around. Don't let him push you back in a straight line. Yeah. So when Arthur clinches you, don't get pushed back in a straight line. Pivot, turn, and get out. Stop engaging in the clinches, man, because you're going to get tired out. Let's hear Tunde. I couldn't see, but Tunde was motioning for head movement. Tunde was motioning for more head movement from Yarde. He's got to get out of the clinches because he's going to get stopped. If them clinches carry on, then Yarde probably will get stopped in this fight. Right, round 3, Yarde on the front foot. I'm just trying to keep an eye on Yarde's pace, and the pace from Yarde looks to have slowed down. Very, very fast start from Yarde, but the pace is slowing down now. You can see the pace is a lot better for Lyndon Arthur. That was actually a very, very good slip left hook from Anthony Yarde. Very, very good right hand from Anthony Yarde. But he's starting to walk in his straight lines now. The head movement's going a little bit from Anthony Yarde, but he is still backing up Arthur. But that's something to watch out for from Yarde. Good jab to the body from Yarde. And you know what with Yarde? Good right hook. But you know with Yarde, it's got to be the overhand right. So if you're Yarde, jab to the body, that's it. Jab to the body, overhand right. That's the shot that's going to get Lyndon Arthur out of there. It's going to be the overhand right over his low left. So set that up with the jab to the body. But it's a good start from Anthony Yarde. Good start. But for me, like I said, his feet are getting slower and slower. So like I said before, can Lyndon Arthur pick up the timing on that jab? So far, Lyndon Arthur hasn't been able to get into a rhythm. 1 minute 55 left in round 3. Just trying to have a look at what's going on. The head movement's gone from Anthony Yarde. Can you see? Can you see the head movement's gone from Anthony Yarde? The head movement's beginning to go. Lyndon Arthur was talking to somebody in the crowd and he's clinching Arthur. Marco says Yarde will gas and get stopped. I have to be honest. To me, Anthony Yarde's winning this round. But to me, at the minute, it looks like a Lyndon Arthur stoppage could happen. He doesn't hurt him soon. Because, like I said before, Arthur is is fighting a true 12-round fight, Arthur. If you look at Arthur so far, to be honest, Lyndon Arthur's been very, very economical. Oh, that was a lovely little right hand from Lyndon Arthur over the top of Anthony Yarde's shot. But Lyndon Arthur is starting to take over in his fight because he's been very, very economical with the shots and he's been very economical with the movement. And he's holding his own on the inside with Yarde. And he's bullying him on the inside. The shot on the inside from Arthur, as Shevin said, is that little right uppercut. But Yarde's getting bullied. He's getting dog walked back. And he's got to get out of them clinches. He's got to get out of them clinches. That was a good right hand from Lyndon Arthur. You see now Yarde's starting to walk in lines now. There you go. You see Yarde's now starting to walk in lines. The head movement's gone from Yarde. And you see what's happening? There, Yarde fell short with the jab. Lyndon Arthur just took a step back and he counter right handed him. Now, you see in the first 2 rounds, Yarde was throwing feints. He was throwing a lot more feints and a lot more head movement. Now, the head movement's gone. He stopped feinting and he's walking in straight lines. He's going to gas. He's going to get stopped in this fight, you know. Anthony Yarde's going to get stopped. He's going to walk right into a right hand, in my opinion. But let's see what happens. Some good punches there from Yarde. Some good right hands. Yarde's giving it everything. But it does worry me the way he's walking in lines. It was a good overhand right there from Yarde. Good overhand right from Yarde. Another good overhand right from Yarde. But to me, like I said, how do you guys think the fight's going? 200 in the chat. Hit the like button. How do you guys like it? Let's have a look. Marco says Arthur will soak up the pressure and stop Yarde. That's how it looks like to me. Connor said Yarde's going to gas if he doesn't get him out. That's what it looks like to me. That's exactly what it looks like to me. I would say Anthony Yarde's got a couple more rounds left in him. Could you see Lyndon Arthur on dog walking in there, back to the corner and talking to the crowd? Lyndon Arthur's been very, very economical, but the key in that fight was Anthony Yarde. You could see the foot feinting stopped, the head movement stopped, the feint stopped, and he's now walking in his straight lines. And you see Lyndon Arthur. He looks for that Anthony Yarde jab, and when Anthony Yarde comes in behind the jab, he just takes a step back, uses his reach, and he throws that counter right hand over the top. I've got Arthur 2-1 up in the fight, but Yarde is trying to get him out of there. It's almost like a guy who doesn't believe he can go to 12. To me, to be honest. It's almost like a guy who doesn't believe he can go to 12. But let's see. Round 3. At some point, Anthony Yarde's going to have to start being a little bit more economical. I'll tell you what I like to see from Anthony Yarde. He's doing it in this round, is that more jabs to the body. More jabs to the body to set up that overhand right. And like I said before, I don't know. I can't hear what's being said in the corner. But have you guys heard anybody from Tunde? Have you guys heard anything from Tunde in the corner? Because I like Tunde to speak to him about these clinches. These clinches are horrible. Right. Some of you might be ahead of me, but let's see. 2:15 to go in round 4. That was a great right hand there from Lyndon Arthur. But Yarde walked straight through it. Big overhand right from Yarde. I think Yarde got him. Left hook from Yarde. Oh, he's hurt him. Oh, an uppercut. Yarde it's the overhand right is the key from Yarde. But see what I'm saying? When you're on the inside, Yarde, composure. Composure. Yarde's like a bull in the china shop loading up on shots. He's hurt him again. The overhand right is the key from Yarde. It's the overhand right is the key from Yarde. Do you know what? If you're Yarde, break the guard. Good left hook to the body from Yarde. Good right hook to the body. Good uppercut. Oh, he's hurt. He got him down. Anthony Yarde. What a combination. Left hook to the body, right uppercut. He hurt him bad now. If you're Yarde, he's cut him out. Anthony Yarde has silenced the critics. Tunde Ajayi and Anthony Yarde have silenced the critics. What a performance. What a performance. Anthony Yarde is world level. That is it now. Anthony Yarde is at world level. Wow. Anthony Yarde. He is what a KO. He broke him down. Wow. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought Yarde he was losing too much energy. But for me, the key shot was the overhand right. And you see how Anthony Yarde started off that round. The one good thing Yarde did was he set up that right hand with a jab to the body. If you look to the beginning of that last round, the first shot that Yarde hit him with was a jab to the body. And then bring that overhand right. Lyndon Arthur's got that very, very low left. I got it completely wrong. Kane Dingle says, called it. Kane Dingle called it. They're in the corner. Yarde and Pat Barrett. Anthony Yarde, there's question marks about the stamina. But Anthony Yarde, do we think he's world level after that performance? He got Lyndon Arthur out of there in 4 rounds. Tunde Ajayi is hugging Pat Barrett. Tunde Ajayi saved. Unbelievable. Tunde Ajayi lives on. Hey, you've got to give Tunde Ajayi all the credit in the world for that performance. Unbelievable. Let's just go through some of the comments. Sorry. Christopher Roberts saying, oh, why is this guy still here? Hold on a minute. He's banned from the last time. Get out of here. Right. Kane Dingle says, Yarde is a beast. Dan Burrell, great KO. John Smith, I told you all. Casper, £100 on Yarde to win tonight. King Nico, Lions in the camp. Daniel Campbell, wow. What a performance. Wayne Alexander. Wayne, like I said, Wayne, if you want the link, Wayne, you're welcome to come on. I'll send you a link in 2 seconds. You're welcome to come on and give, if it's for 30 seconds or whatever, you're more than welcome to come on. Daryl, the same for you as well. Arthur was too... I'm just going to have a look at this knockout. Here we go. There was a great right hand to the body, but it was that overhand right from Yarde, and he doubled up on that right hook. But vicious. Yarde stuck to his word, didn't he? Yarde said, when I get him hurt, I'm going to end him. And I'll be honest, I called this fight completely wrong. As Yarde was finishing, I thought Yarde wasn't being patient enough. He wasn't looking for the gaps. I thought he was loading up too much. But if you look at the body shots, they were perfect. I mean, if you actually see the post-fight replay and look at some of the left and right hooks, I mean, Yarde did an absolute job on him. I mean, if you look at the placement on these shots from Yarde, they're perfect. The left hook to the body just took everything away from Lyndon Arthur. The right uppercut, then it was the right hook. It was the perfect shots. The placement from Yarde was perfect. You can't stop the rain, boy. Anthony Yarde has answered the critics. Tunde Ajayi has answered the critics. That's it. Simple. Arthur battered out of there. Battered out of there. Marco says Yarde is looking vicious. He's improved greatly. Credit to Tunde. I take my hat off. Hey, stand up for the president, Tunde Ajayi. Stand up for the president, Tunde Ajayi. Yo, give a man credit. Let me get this up on here. Unbelievable performance. And Tunde very magnanimous in defeat. Anthony Yarde wiped out Lyndon Arthur in 4 rounds. Stand up for Tunde Ajayi. Stand up. Everybody, press 1 for Tunde Ajayi. Everybody in the chat, press 1 for Tunde Ajayi. Press 1. For me, if Tunde lost that was the end of his career. There you go. Press 1 for Tunde Ajayi. Because Tunde, for me, if Anthony Yarde got stopped, that was the end of Tunde Ajayi's career. As a top trainer, he was finished. He was absolutely finished. Look, everybody, press 1 for Tunde. Marco, press 1 for Tunde. Shane, pressing 1 for Tunde. Joe, Crazy, Wayne Moody, Wayne Alexander, Michael Dixon, Ghost, Jonathan Small, Dan Burrell. Man, give Tunde his credit. Yarde in the toughest fight, or second toughest fight of his career, went in there. That was the Anthony Yarde that nearly got Sergei Kovalev out of there. You know, that was the Anthony Yarde we saw tonight, was the Anthony Yarde who was a handful of punches away from getting Sergei Kovalev out of there in his own backyard. That's what we saw tonight. That was what we saw. The Anthony Yarde we saw tonight was the Anthony Yarde who went to Russia. Smurf TV called, I think you called it. There's a few of you who right before the fight said Yarde's going to knock him out. I'll give you credit. At no point in this fight did I think Anthony Yarde was going to win this fight. I didn't think Anthony Yarde would win before the fight, and I didn't think Anthony Yarde would win during the fight. Shane says, yes, that's the Yardes, but yeah, that was the Yarde we saw tonight was the Anthony Yarde who stepped in with Sergei Kovalev. That was the man who Sergei Kovalev said, you will be world champion. And the most ironic thing of all is, despite all the criticism that Anthony Yarde's had for the last year, Anthony Yarde is now 1 fight away from being world champion. Can you believe it? After everything Anthony Yarde has been through, Anthony Yarde is now 1 fight away from being world champion. Unbelievable. Sergei Kovalev said it in Russia. He said, man, you're going to be world champion. You're going to be world champion. Maybe Sergei Kovalev knew something that we didn't know. I didn't see it. Jamie Lilwall says, excellent commentary. I thought my commentary was pretty shit. I called it wrong all the way. But for me, like I said, Yarde tonight, for me, I have big question marks over can he do the 12. That hasn't, my opinion on Anthony Yarde over distance has not changed. I've got big question marks over can Anthony Yarde do the 12. But let me tell you this. The feet tonight, the start, the energy. He quickened his feet up. He got step about Lyndon Arthur. But for me, the key early on, in them opening rounds was the feints and the head movement, particularly the feints, more so than the head movement. He completely threw. Lyndon Arthur couldn't get into a rhythm with his jab. And that's what cost him this fight. You can see right from the get-go with Yarde, with the feints he was throwing, he was quickening up his feet and he was getting to him really quickly. He was unloading big shots on him. And then when Arthur did have the space, you just see Yarde throwing them little foot feints at him, and getting Arthur to throw the jab, but Arthur was falling short. Does that make sense? And when you do that to a fighter, when you're feinting and your fighter's throwing jabs and he's missing, do you know what I mean? They start to almost lose faith in the jab. They can't get into a rhythm because they're not touching. And Yarde was constantly feint, making Arthur fall short with the jab. When Arthur jab slipped to the outside, he wasn't letting Arthur touch him up with that jab in the first 3 rounds. And he hit him and he hurt him a couple times early on. But when I tell you the difference in power was unbelievable. I mean, when Yarde had him going in that 4th round, that has to be, let me tell you, I'm going to go through the comments in a minute because I've got Wayne here with a great comment. What do you guys think about Yarde's finishing? I would say just go and watch the finishing combination that Yarde landed. That was as good as a finish as you will see anywhere in world boxing this year. The finish was superb. Double right hook, right on the ribs. Double right hook to the body, right on the ribs. Left hook to the body. Left uppercut, right overhand, right. He was landing everything. Just look at the shot placement from Anthony Yarde on the finish. That is one of the best finishes you will see this year. That was an absolutely clinical finish. Wayne Alexander says, Tunde's my mate. I hope that he hasn't fallen out with me for going with Arthur. Well, listen, Tunde ain't my mate, but let me tell you, I'd like to be Tunde's mate after this result. His career got saved. Wayne, I'll be honest with you. I thought for me, if if Anthony Yarde got stopped in this fight, I've got no problem with Tunde, but because of the what fighters, it's not just what the media is saying. It's fighters like Kevin Mitchell who are burying him, and people in boxing are saying Ajayi is a bad coach. Yarde needs to leave him. I just felt with the reputation that Tunde had amongst boxing circles, this was it for Tunde. And you know what? He passed the test. He absolutely passed the test. Sonny Singh says, guess the Matchroom Mongs need to find someone new to troll. The amount of knobs bashing these guys non-stop in the comment section was pathetic. I agree with that. Games You Love likes the selection, good head and body finish. TMT says Yarde's power and high-level final combination. Do you know what, TMT? I agree with you. I just think, you know what it was? Arthur was hurt, yeah? Arthur was hurt. We know that. But the difference for me was when Arthur was hurt, the finish from Anthony Yarde made all the difference. Like, he landed. If you look at that final combination, he must have thrown 6 or 7 shots. He landed like 5 of them. I mean, every shot he was placing, he was landing. And that's why he got Lyndon Arthur out of there. Particularly on the doubling up on the body shots. Then he switched over. He doubled up on that right hook. Hit him twice. Switched around. Left hook to the body. Left up. He was landing almost everything up close. Yarde, and look at Tunde. Yarde's here in the post fight. I'm not sure we can play this or not. Let's have a quick listen.
How did you get it so right this time?
I told you, I knew what I had to do. Again, people forget. My experience in this boxing thing is minimal.
There you go. Yarde said, I knew what I had to do. Ghost says, you defended Tunde in another video. Good man. I've never had a problem with Tunde. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't think Yarde would win the fight. And I thought Tunde would get fired. So I was wrong about that. Let's have a look. Shane says, head and body mad. Lyndon Arthur was hurt. But it was the way Yarde just got it. I mean, Yarde got rid of him. Yarde absolutely got rid of him. Sniffed out he was hurt, but it was the finish, and he just got rid of him. Casper says Yarde was sapping his punches in. Games You Love says Tunde doesn't have to go back to the roads. M.A. Khan says Yarde went sicko mode. D-Dubs, Yarde snapped. Shane says he'll win a world title. Anthony Yarde versus the winner. Now, what Queensby will be praying for is for Callum Johnson to beat Joe Smith, so we can do an all-British fight between Anthony Yarde and Callum Johnson. That's what would be best for Queensbury. Let's hear more from Yarde. Hold on.
Whole year for you. You've lost family members. You lost this important fight 1 year ago. What have you learned from this year, and how much does this mean to you to close out 2021 this way?
You know what? I know this don't sound
like a normal answer, but in my mind, I'm forgetting 2020. I have to forget 2020 because 99.9% of people on this planet could not have went through what I went through and came in a professional boxing ring and tried to perform.
So Anthony Yarde says 99.9% of people could not have gone through what he went through in 2020 and stepped into that ring. It looks like Anthony Yarde was telling the truth the whole time. You know what Anthony Yarde was saying? I doubted him. You know what he said? He said, I had a bad year. I should never have been in the ring against Lyndon Arthur. Well, tonight, Anthony Yarde went in and proved, absolutely proved 100% that everything he said in the run-up to the fight was correct. Everything he said in the run-up to the fight was correct. Everything he said he was going to do, he did. Am I right? Am I wrong? Everything Yarde said he was going to do. He said he was going to step in. Frank, look at Frank is giggling like a schoolgirl. Hold on, let's see if Frank is absolutely giggling. Let's hear from Frank. It's Frank Warren, my boss.
January with Joe Smith, the winner of that will fight him. That's what Bob Arrow and I have been discussing. It's what we've agreed, and he's earned it tonight. I mean, that was devastating tonight. It was a good fight. While it lasted, it was a good fight, and you can see what Lyndon's tactics were, but he wouldn't be denied. And he's on a seek and destroy mission. He's a tremendous finisher. I don't think there's that many better finishers in the business than Anthony Yarde when he gets the man in trouble.
Did you expect the fight to be over that quickly? Was everything?
I'll be quite honest with you. I thought he'd go early. But I thought that it'd be a war of attrition to the end and it'd be a close fight. But he didn't allow it to be a close fight.
Okay, and I want to ask Tunde, and I've got James Cook also new to your corner. Tunde, is this the team that is going to propel Anthony
Here comes Tunde
in a world title fight next year, but to win it?
100%.
So here's Tunde. We're going to take Tunde off for a minute because I don't want to get done for copyright. Let's go through some of all your comments. Guys, if anybody wants the link, I don't know if anybody wants the link tonight. Daryl, if you want the link, you can get the link. Abdul, if you want the link, you can get the link. Sunny Singh, if you want the link, you can get the link. Wayne Alexander, if you want the link, you can get the link. Whoever wants the link, if we know you. Shevin, if you want the link, you can get the link. We've got Riku tomorrow morning with a reaction. Chris Lloyd, I'll tell you about that later on, is basically saying exactly what I said. Moldy 7890 says Arthur quit. No, he didn't. The finish was one of the best finishes I've seen in a British boxing ring this year. And that was, you talk about getting a man hurt. That was an absolutely clinical finish from Yarde. And Frank Warren, as I said, said exactly the same thing. You have to be honest. Frank Warren knows boxing. Do you know what I mean? Frank Warren, you know what Frank Warren said? Frank Warren said there are very few better finishes when he gets a man hurt than Anthony Yarde. The key for me was the finish, because if he'd have let Lyndon Arthur out of that and Lyndon Arthur made it through that, I believe Lyndon Arthur probably would have gone on to win the fight by stoppage. But if you just look at them shots, they were perfectly placed, brutal. Thomas Williams says, does James Cook OBE get a shout out? Precision punches to finish him off. Absolutely. He was given a shout out and given time on the mic by BT Sports. Boxing Madness says head body. Lyndon couldn't deal with it. I mean, it was unbelievable what was going on there. Absolutely unbelievable. The finish was one of the best I've seen. I mean, there's no doubt Frank Warren there. The gamble paid off, didn't it, with Frank? You know, let me tell you one thing. Anthony Yarde right now, I'll tell you what. Frank nearly lost Lyndon Arthur over getting him into a rematch of Anthony Yarde. Unbelievable, isn't it? Frank Warren nearly lost Lyndon Arthur. I mean, he has moved heaven and earth for Anthony Yarde. There's no question about that. Frank Warren has moved heaven and earth to get Anthony Yarde into this position. It's a big gamble. I didn't think it was going to pay off. It looks like it's paid off. I wonder if we'll see Lyndon Arthur move on from Queensbury now. David, hey, what a fight that was. Let's go through some more comments. Sean Edwards says, Buatsi or Yarde. Different fight. Buatsi's a different kind of game. Buatsi's a different kind of game, you know. Buatsi is a different kind of game. Daryl, do you want the link or not? Let me know, Daryl. If you want the link, I'll send it to you by email. Let me know, Daryl. Guys, what do you think? Buatsi or Yarde? Press 1 for Buatsi or press 2 for Anthony Yarde? Do you know what? I'm going to press 1. I'm going to go Buatsi. I don't know why, but I just think Yarde, like I said, Yarde is still a bit rusty. You know, particularly with that jab, and I worry about, but you know what? Then again, Buatsi's a smaller. I don't know. Let's have a look. TMT says Arthur looked huge for the weight, and Anthony Yarde just got rid of him. AR Smith says 2. He goes with Anthony Yarde over Barassi. Alistair Ninian thinks Anthony Yarde beats Barassi. Chief Maydell says another bum card from Warren. No problem. Off you go. Tunde straight OG. MS22's going with Barassi. I'm actually leaning towards Barassi. I just think styles make fights. I think Barassi's got a little bit too much craft and know-how. But listen, if Anthony Yarde gets Barassi hurt, that could be the end of it, couldn't it? You know, if Anthony Yarde gets Barassi hurt, that could be the end of it. But we need to see Barassi step up. We've seen Anthony Yarde step up and fight world class. Anthony Yarde fought Sergei Kovalev and nearly got him out of there. Joshua Barassi still got his L plates on. So we need to see more from Barassi. Maybe if Barassi gets Chris Lloyd in as his head trainer, maybe Barassi will win the fight. Those of you who know about Chris Lloyd will know what joke I'm referring to there. Okay, right, it's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Daryl can't jump on, but that's fine, brother. Thanks for your comments. Comments are great. Keep the comments coming. Alistair Ninian said Yarde took some big right hands from Arthur and kept coming. Yarde beats Barassi. I'm not sure. It's for me. It's a pick 'em because Barassi's got a lot of craft. He's got a lot of craft. He's got very, very quick hands. But I'll be honest with you, yeah. When Yarde hits Barassi's not bigger than Arthur, is he? Barassi's not the biggest light heavyweight. And if Yarde hits him and hurts him, it really could be night-night. It really could be night-night. Nadav Drew's got a very, very interesting point here. He says, papering over the cracks once more. Yarde needs a new trainer. Back at world level, he'll get exposed badly once again. Back on the hamster wheel. Well, listen, he gets the winner of Callum Johnson and Joe Smith. And Callum Johnson has not looked great in his last couple of fights. He has not looked good in his last couple of fights. And it's the WBO. So I believe, let me know if I'm right or wrong, but when you're not getting your mandatory, you can fight anybody in the top 20, can't you? So it is what it is, isn't it? You know, if Anthony Yarde gets the WBO, when he's not fighting his mandatories, he can fight anybody in the top 20. So he can still be world champion and still have his L plates on. That's one of the big things when you're sort of champion with the Warren Boxing organization. TMT says Wizard Sleeve taking L's after L's this year. Shout out to Wizard Sleeve. He's disappeared. I didn't even ban him. He's just disappeared. Mickey Dub says Barassi has better ring craft than Arthur. I will tell you one thing. I wouldn't surprise me if Barassi beat Yarde, but let me tell you, Lyndon Arthur looked huge in the ring tonight. You see the size of Lyndon Arthur. He was huge. And Barassi just doesn't have that build. And you saw Yarde. Yarde hit her. I know Lyndon Arthur hasn't fought a top level, but you see what happened tonight when he got the man hurt. I mean, he looked vicious. So that really was the Anthony Yarde of old that we used to watch in the run up to the Kovalev fight. You know, that was Anthony Yarde. That was Anthony Yarde at his best. That was Anthony Yarde. He looked absolutely vicious. He looked absolutely ruthless in the ring tonight. TMT says, let's get this chat. What do you guys think about Tunde? Are you still suspicious about Tunde? 198 people in the chat. So let's see how many likes we've got. Oh, and 130 likes. That's brilliant. Thank you very much, everybody. 130 likes. If we can get a few more likes, that would be great. But we've got the 200 in the room and 130 likes. Let's have a look here. What do you guys think? Are you willing to get off Tunde's back now? Are you willing to get off Tunde's back? What do you think? Are you willing to get off Tunde's case for a bit? Or are you still in the whole get rid of Tunde crowd? What do you guys think? Joe Smith Jr. and Callum Johnson. January the 15th, live on BT Sport. Queensbury are having a hell of a run at the minute. I'm telling you, Queensbury are having a hell of a run at the minute tonight. King Nico says, didn't get to hear anything from Tunde in the corner. It's a very, very good point, King Nico. Very, very bad production from BT Sport. You know the spotlight is on Tunde Ajayi. I would like to have heard his corner instructions and advice to Anthony Yarde. And I didn't get to hear that tonight. That was very, very bad production from BT Sport. They need to get people who understand a little bit more about boxing. To be honest, yeah, with all the heat that Tunde's been getting, I personally would have given Tunde his own mic and camera. You ever seen it in some of the high-profile fights when they camera up and they might. There's Dev Sani. Shout out to Dev Sani, my guy, walking in the yard to do the post-fight interview with Yarde. Pepsi and Mine says Johnson smashes Yarde. What do you guys think? Pepsi and Mine thinks Callum Johnson gets Yarde out of there. Callum Johnson is a different level puncher. He's a brutal puncher. But you know what? Like I said, he's about to go into a war with Joe Smith. Who knows what will have left in the tank after that? Keely Peeps 504 says, I started paying attention to Yarde after the Kovalev fight. He the truth. Well, it's a bit too early, my brother, to say that yet. I mean, it is what it is. Yarde's got. Listen, like I said before, I'm not convinced Anthony Yarde can do 12 rounds. Do you guys think I'm right about that or I'm wrong? Press 1 if you think I'm right. Do you agree with Ultra that Anthony Yarde, there's still a big question mark over can he do a 12-rounder? Can he do it? Because I think if this fight would have gone late tonight, I think if that Lyndon Arthur had survived and got out of that, I think Lyndon Arthur would have gone on to stop him. That's my opinion. I think if Lyndon Arthur had taken that past 4, 5, and 6, I think Arthur would have got him out of there. That's my opinion. So I still think there's big question marks over Yarde, over distance. But tonight, everything just came together for Anthony Yarde. Everything. Listen, he could throw that same combination he threw against Lyndon Arthur tonight. He could throw that same combination another 10 times and he wouldn't land as many shots as what he did. I mean, he virtually landed like 80% of his shots. He landed everything. Unbelievable. Shevin says Yarde is good inside 8 rounds. After that, he's done. Too much oxygen needed. I don't have much faith in Anthony Yarde in a 12-round fight. Like, to me, he looked like he was gassing badly, you know. And to me, like I said, if Lyndon Arthur managed to get out of that round and continue to get him, because Lyndon Arthur had a good. Listen, that game plan Arthur had of engaging Yarde in a clinch and just putting all his strength on him and dog walking him around was a great strategy. That was a great strategy. Just unfortunately for Lyndon Arthur, what we saw tonight is Anthony Yarde might have world level power. Do you think that's a fair comment? Do you think that's a wrong comment? Anthony Yarde, what do you guys think? Do you agree or do you disagree with this? Anthony Yarde might not be a world level fighter yet, but he quite possibly has world level power. And maybe that was the difference between these two tonight. What do you guys think? Yes or no? You agree with that? That Anthony Yarde might not be a world-class boxer, but he might just have world level power. And maybe that was what we saw tonight. That Anthony Yarde, maybe it's true. He does have world level power. He showed it against Kovalev. And I think he's gone and shown it tonight. He might have world level power, and you know Lyndon Arthur unfortunately doesn't, and that was it. Rob Wood says I thought it was a bad stoppage. It was all against Lyndon tonight. Ref judges the lot. No, I don't think so. I think it was a fair fight. The ref let them work away on the inside. Lyndon Arthur was you know Anthony Yarde was being dog walked and lent upon and all sorts. The referee wasn't trying to break it up. The referee wasn't trying to give Anthony Yarde a break. Lyndon Arthur was tiring him out. The problem was Anthony Yarde. When Anthony Yarde landed clean, that was it. That was the problem, wasn't it? That was the problem. When Anthony Yarde landed clean tonight, you could see the levels. Not in terms of boxing ability, but you could see the levels in the power. When Anthony Yarde landed, them shots stuck. And just to say, Yarde hurt Lyndon Arthur multiple times. And Yarde hurt him in round 1. So it wasn't like, you know, Yarde was nowhere and then he landed one shot and ended it. Yarde had hurt him in round 1. Yarde hurt him in round 2, and Yarde got him out of there. Yarde, every time Yarde was landing, particularly with them right hands, he was hurting him. Difference in just a different level of power, unfortunately. Aston Indian says not Bertabayev, but respect him. No, nobody is like Bertabayev. Bertabayev is a pound for pound puncher. Damien says, I really thought he gassed himself. My bad. I honestly, I still believe that if Lyndon Arthur escapes and gets out of that round and survives the next round or two, I believe Lyndon Arthur wins this fight tonight. But Yarde just, some nights, everything goes for you, you know? And I just think for Yarde tonight, Yarde fought brilliantly. Everything just settled for Yarde. He fought a brilliant game plan and all the shots he was throwing were landing. And that was it, wasn't it? But like I said, I can't stress it enough. That final finish from Yarde, like I said, it's one thing to have a guy hurt, but it was the shots he was landing. It was the way he doubled up on the right hook to the body, switching. He was left hook, uppercut, overhand right. Everything he was throwing was just unbelievable. Imran says no complaints from Arthur and his team with the stoppage. Stoppage was fine. Yeah, and like I said, Lyndon Arthur, Sonny Edwards, Pat Barrett, no complaints from them. Pat Barrett hugging Tunde Jai, hugging Anthony Yarde. Absolutely no complaints. As BT Sport are showing Daniel Dubois against some fucking tomato can in the ring. So let's get rid of this. I don't know why they're showing that. Daniel Dubois versus some tomato can. But yeah, unbelievable. Right, we're going to finish up soon. We're going for nearly 3 hours, but not yet. Anthony Yarde, right? Will Anthony Yarde be a world champion? Give me a 1 for yes. Give me a 2 for no. Will Anthony Yarde be a world champion? Will Anthony Yarde win a version of the world championship? How do you like his chances against Joe Smith Jr.? Most people believe that Joe Smith is going to beat Callum Johnson. So what have you got? Right, let's go through these. Joe says no. He doesn't think Yarde will be a world champion. Dave says yes. Hebrew Elevation says yes. Cloud Gaming says no. Shadow Project says yes. TMT no. Joe says no. He said no twice. MS2 says yes. Alistair Ninian no. Crazy D3 says 1.5. Shane says yes. Shevin says no. Shevin, you don't think Anthony Yarde will be world champion? High Jump King says yes. Justin Affley says yes. ABB says yes. Moldy 987 7890 says IBO champion maybe. Katie Peeps 504. What are you in Anolia? 504. You in Anolia? New Orleans, stand up. Katie Peeps, let me know if you're in NO. New Orleans, stand up. That's no limit country. It's no limit country. It's cash money country. Shadow Project said there are 4 belts. He will pick one up. Imran says, I don't know, man. His low left hand is his problem. Arthur got him with some tight hands. And Joe Smith can punch. So we'll have to see. Let's have a look through them. A Black says no. Doesn't think Yarde will be a champion. Rob Wood says, oh, this is interesting. He's saying, for me, he should have been allowed to carry on. That's why I say ref was bad. But I thought Arthur didn't make the count. Did Arthur actually make the count or did he not make the count? I thought he didn't make the count. The ref counted and he got up. I thought he just missed the count. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Shevin says it depends who Yarde has to fight to be a champion. TMT says Yarde really got himself out of jail tonight. They have to work on Yarde's stamina because I still don't believe Anthony Yarde can fight 12 rounds. Yeah, you go. Shevin, where's that? West Bank 504. Where is that at? I'm from the UK, bro. The only thing I know about Anolia is from Soldier Slim and C Murder. You feel me? And BG. Do you know what I mean? Soldier Slim, C Murder, BG. Who else was out there from the NO, man? There's some fucking G's out there. Rough. Oh, so Nada said no, he made the count. Oh, he did make the count. Right. Ref waved it off in no position to continue. Oh, okay. Ref waved it at 8. It's my bad. I was getting so hyped. Okay, my bad. I thought he just missed the count. Okay. Well, then I think, yeah, maybe the ref should have maybe given him a bit more. Why not? Why did he stop it like that for? That was a bit dodgy, wasn't it? He was up by 7, yeah, and the ref waved it. Nah, you know, not after the first knockdown because he was hurt badly, but where he was getting hurt was to the body. You feel me? When he was getting hurt to the body. What done him was a double right hook and then a left hook up the ribs. That's where he was getting hurt. He was getting hurt to the body. It was the body shots. It wasn't like he was taking too much punishment to the head. Then I question that. But Cloud's Gaming, it's interesting there because Arthur didn't protest that at all. So I got that wrong. Now I thought what happened was the ref. I saw Arthur get up. I thought he just missed the count by 1. Aston Cole saying Arthur quit. This guy's saying stoppages wank all night. BT are finished. I think BT Sports are pretty far from finished, mate. Jesus Christ. Bloody hell. If they're finished, what a DAZN. Jesus Christ. There you go. There's a old crack pipe in the comment section. Let me see. Look like Arthur got up at 8. Let me quickly see this now. Yeah, no complaints from Lyndon Arthur. That was interesting. Shane says Arthur was done. Ref seen it in his eyes. He didn't complain, did he? Like, he didn't complain at all. Like, there was no protesting from him or Pat Barrett at all. At all. No protests. Few people there saying that they think Lyndon Arthur quit. Listen, you know we never ever accuse a fighter of quitting. Ever. Ever. See if we can get some pictures. There you go, look. Anthony Yarde is the real deal, man, in British boxing. Not saying world level, but Anthony Yarde is the real fucking deal in British boxing. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Lyndon Arthur? Before we go, do you think Lyndon Arthur was done? Or do you think Joe's saying different. Look, Joe says Lyndon Arthur was barely up at 9. The comments are wrong. The KO is already uploaded on BT's YouTube. There you go. I might have to watch that again. Games You Love says he was done, he didn't complain. CRB says Anthony Yarde stopped common tonight. I can't believe I didn't notice that Lyndon Arthur looks like common. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I didn't realise that Lyndon Arthur looks like common. Oh my gosh. Lyndon Arthur looks exactly like him, you know. How did I not notice that, bro? You guys let me do a 3-hour show and not tell me that Lyndon Arthur looked like common. Hold up. You see this? This man, Lyndon Arthur, looked exactly like common. Look. Shit. How did I not know that? Look at that spitting image, isn't it? How did I not know about that though? Nobody told me. Lyndon Arthur. Lyndon Arthur is going to start singing love songs to Erykah Badu. What's that song? I'm trying to find that song, Sheva. You know what song I'm trying to think about? Oh my gosh, that song, that comment, that. Anyway, I'll YouTube it to you later on. Here's the spitting image, isn't it? Sean Hardcastle. There it is. Anthony Yarde beating up Common. Let's have a look. Vinyl Pugilist. What are you saying, bro? The body shot hurt him. Over a minute left in the round was inevitable. Oh, I don't know. I think if Lyndon Arthur wanted to continue, then he should have been allowed to continue. The ref shouldn't have taken it out of his hands. If Lyndon Arthur's given the ref any indication that he's done, that's a different story. But in my mind, yeah, if Lyndon Arthur made the count and he's told the ref he wants to continue, then he should have been allowed to continue. Period. Justin Affley says Lyndon didn't want any more punishment. Didn't quit, but didn't want more. Ashar says, if we look at the reaction of Arthur and Barrett at the end of the fight, including a hug with Tunde, the stoppage was legit. I mean, these guys will be, they are pissed enough as it is with Frank Warren for even having to do the rematch. Do you feel me? That whole team is pissed off enough with Frank Warren as it is for having to do the rematch. So if there's some foul play, you'll be hearing about it. 100%. Let's go through here. Wow, Chris Eubank is calling him a quitter. Let's quickly have a look about Lyndon Arthur quickly before we go. Chris Eubank Jr. saying Lyndon Arthur quit. Well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing Lyndon Arthur versus Chris Eubank Jr. Would you? Wouldn't mind seeing Lyndon Arthur versus Chris Eubank Jr. Why not? Just for the fun of it. Just for the fun of it. Anybody got a link to that tweet from Chris Eubank? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Chris Eubank on Lyndon Arthur tonight. Chris Eubank says, it's crazy to me how many quote-unquote fighters, wow, these days are happy to just give up at the first sign of getting hurt in a fight. How do these guys sleep at night? Yeah, but Chris, you ain't fought. The thing about Chris Eubank is, every time Chris Eubank's fought somebody, every single time, with the exception of a shot James DeGale who cashed out on ITV box office, right? With the exception of a shot James DeGale who cashed out on ITV box office, every single time Chris Eubank has stepped up to the top level, he's been cleaned out. And you know, he's been fucking cleaned out on the cards. Like, he's not been in the fight. George Groves cleaned him out on the cards. Billy Joe Saunders won the fight with him in the first 6 rounds. Korobov, he was getting beat by Korobov before Korobov's shoulder fell out. In fact, he fucking left Al Heyman, ran off and never rematched him. So every time Chris Eubank Jr. stepped up against any kind of opposition, let me tell you, I've got a fight for Chris Eubank Jr. Let me tell you something. Here's a fight for Chris Eubank Jr., Zach Parker. What do you guys think? Who wins that fight? Zach Parker or Chris Eubank Jr.? Who wins that? Zach Parker or Chris Eubank Jr.? Look at what Zach Parker did to Marcus Morrison, and then look at Chris Eubank Jr. versus Marcus Morrison. Let's make that fight. We can do that. Listen, Zach Parker is the WBO mandatory, or the #1 in the WBO, isn't he? So if Chris Eubank beats Zach Parker, He'd be ranked in the WBO, would he? Zach Parker's the #1 ranked in the WBO in light heavyweight. So why doesn't Chris Eubank get in the ring and fight Zach Parker for his ranking? I know what will happen if he fights Zach Parker. I know what will happen if he fights Zach Parker, and he knows what will happen if he fights Zach Parker. Instead of fighting all these little guys like Marcus Morrison, why don't you step up and fight Zach? Marcus Morrison pretty much almost took him the distance, didn't he? Look at what Zach Parker did. Look at how Zach Parker got rid of Marcus Morrison. So that's a fight for Chris Eubank. Zach Parker fights there for you. We can do that. We can do that in Derby. We can do that at what was it? Pride Park. Is that Derby County's ground? Pride Park, yeah. We can do that at Pride Park if you want. Chris Eubank Jr. That's not a problem. Don't need to be calling fighters out on Twitter. And get yourself in the ring with Zach Parker down in Pride Park. We can do it on BT Sports box office, and you can try and take his WBO #1 ranking because you keep telling people that you want to fight Golovkin. You keep telling people that you want to fight Golovkin. But see, when Eddie Hearn had the fight done, you lost your pen. Do you remember that? Do you remember when Chris Eubank Jr. told everybody he was going to fight Gennady Golovkin? Right up until the deadline. Do you remember that? And Eddie Hearn told him and told his father, look, I need to know right now, are you signing this fight? Are you taking this fight? Or are you not taking this fight? Because everything is done. And do you remember when they pulled out and didn't take the fight? And then Kell Brook had to step in and get his career ended at the last minute. All Chris Eubank Jr.'s fault. All Chris Eubank Jr.'s fault. Kell Brook having his career ended as a top welterweight, all Chris Eubank Jr.'s fault because he wouldn't take the fight with Triple G. Do you remember that? How him and his father led on the entire British public for 3 weeks straight. Do you remember that? 3 weeks straight for the entire British public. He told everybody, I'm fighting Golovkin. And he would not sign the contract. Do you remember that? He would not sign the contract. And he's sitting here calling out other fighters. Tell you what, I've never seen a fighter I've never seen a fighter as well matched. Well, I have seen fighters, but it is what it is. Let's see. Valeroy Bailey says rubbish on Eubank BJS. The fight was a split. Yeah, the fight was a split decision because I don't think it was. I think Billy Joe won it by a couple of rounds, but it was what it was. I mean, Mayweather and Canelo was a split decision, but everybody knows it wasn't. Who gives a fuck? And Groves didn't get him out of there. No, he didn't get him out of there, but he cleaned him out on the cards. Groves fucking cleaned him out on the cards. Groves beat him 8 rounds to 4. The last round, he had a dislocated shoulder. Groves beat Chris Eubank Jr. 8 rounds to 4, and he literally fought the last round with his arm hanging out of his socket. If you watch the fight back, you can literally see fucking George Groves' arm hanging out of his socket and dangling around. And he still beat Chris Eubank Jr. 8 rounds to 4. He beat him handily in that fight. Have you seen Korobov versus Chris Eubank Jr.? Chris Eubank Jr. was nowhere in the Korobov fight. He was nowhere in the Korobov fight. Did he rematch Korobov? Let me ask you that. If Chris Eubank Jr. is out here calling out all these fighters, why did he rematch Matvey Korobov? Because he knew he'd lose. He knew he'd lose. That's why he didn't rematch him. He knew he'd lose. Ran off from Al Heyman. And then went and started fighting on fucking obscure Sky cards, didn't he? What was the whole point of him signing with Al Heyman? Wasn't he supposed to get a fight with Charlo? Do you remember when he was talking, I'm going to fight Charlo? Couldn't even get past Korobov. And then legged it from PBC. Told everybody he was fighting Charlo, didn't he? Couldn't beat Korobov. Wouldn't even rematch him. And next minute, you never see him on PBC again, didn't it? Get out of here, man, with this guy, man. Fight Zach Parker. That's a fight. Chris Eubank versus Zach Parker. I know who wins that fight. I know Zach Parker will win that fight. And I don't even like Zach Parker. But I know Zach Parker will beat Chris Eubank Jr. Period. He knows it as well. That's why he's fighting on boxer cards, isn't he? That's why he's fighting on boxer undercards. Because he knows as well, didn't he? Right, let's carry on. Oh, yeah, and final pugilist. I mean, look at this fight as well. Chris Eubank versus JJ McDonough. That fight between Chris Eubank Jr. and JJ McDonough was so dodgy. JJ McDonough was investigated for for an illegal betting scam because people said McDonough took a dive and bet on himself, and they actually investigated it. There was like an irregular betting pattern, wasn't there, between Chris Eubank Jr. and JJ McDonough? Wasn't there an irregular betting pattern found in that fight that led to an investigation? Give me a break, man. This guy's out here calling guys quitters, but the reality is, every time he's ever stepped up, we know what's happened, didn't it? Every time he stepped up, with the exception of James DeGale, he's been beaten clearly. Let's have a look. Abdullah Muhammad says, there's a reason Eubank is at boxer At PBC, you earn your keep fighting unheralded guys that 90% of Brit fighters would lose to. Yeah, I'm waiting for him to rematch Korobov. But he knows what will happen. He knows what will happen. He was never going to win that fight against Korobov. He was on the way to another fucking 10-2. That's what was going to happen. If Korobov's shoulder stayed in his socket, that would have been another 10-2. That would have been another wide loss, yeah, on Chris Eubank Jr.'s record. We all know that. We all know that. Let's have a look. Right. Sorry about that. I'm not happy with Chris Eubank Jr. saying things about it. He's entitled to his own opinion, but listen, you know. And again, let me quickly say this, yeah. And yeah, you're right. Zach Parker did lose to Darryl Williams. 100% fact. That Zach Parker really should give Darryl Williams a world title shot. If Zach Parker wins a world title, the first thing he should do is give Darryl Williams a payday. But I'm just being honest. If you look at the performance that Zach Parker put in his last fight and compare it to what Chris Eubank Jr. showed in his last fight, there's levels between the two. And if you look at the common opponent and what happened, I know what will happen. Chris Eubank won't take the fight. He won't take the fight anyway. He won't take the fight. Let's have a look here. Exactly, yeah. This is exactly what I was going to say. Eubank can't talk about fighters quitting after Nick Blackwell. It's unbelievable how two-faced these fighters are. You know, Nick Blackwell didn't quit in the fight with Eubank, right? And his career was ended. He nearly died in the ring from severe brain injuries. So if you think someone like, and look at Chris Eubank's father, what happened with Michael Watson? You think after what he's been through and what his father's been through, both him and his father nearly killed men in the boxing ring. You think them, of all people, would be a little bit more sensitive when it comes to throwing out these stupid comments. But again, he's trying to get attention for himself, isn't he? Because he's stuck on Boxer. He's stuck on these undercards for Boxer, which nobody's watching. It is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. Right, final thoughts. Final thoughts, guys. We've been here 3 hours. Final thoughts. Anybody got any final thoughts? We've still got 154 people in here. Big thanks to everybody who's been here in the chat tonight. 154 people. I think the max we did was close to 200 tonight. Or over 200, actually. At one point, we did over 200. Very, very good. Very, very good. Very, very good numbers. Very, very good numbers. I believe tomorrow morning, Riku is here. Tomorrow morning. So, if you guys, I know you guys, there'll be a deliberation tomorrow morning. It might be a little bit later than 10, but the King Riku will be here tomorrow morning. He wants to speak to you about this fight. About this fight. So hopefully you'll be hearing from King Riku tomorrow. Devin Haney is fighting tonight. Will I do a live stream to see Devin Haney? I don't think I'm going to do a live stream for Devin Haney, but let me tell you, if Devin Haney loses, if we get another upset, then maybe I will go live if Devin Haney loses. But I'm not going to do another. I'm not going to do another 3 hours of the Zone card. I don't have a clue. I haven't seen Jojo Diaz and I haven't seen Cruz, so I can't say. Honestly, these days I spend a lot of time watching British boxing. I don't watch enough American boxing, so I can't say. I'll watch the fights. I know Shevan's picking Jojo Diaz to beat Devin Haney. So I know Shevan is picking Jojo Diaz to beat Devin Haney. There you go. There's Shevan confirming. He's putting money on Jojo Diaz to beat Devin Haney tonight. We'll have to wait and see. We all know Devin Haney got hit and hurt and hard by Linares. So we'll have to wait and see what happens in that fight. But if there's an upset, I might be here for that. Okay, guys, really, really appreciate it. Yeah. Peace out.